Nice podcast.
You're listening to the Super Co-op Squad Video Game Podcast, episode 60. On today's show, we'll be discussing the Video Game Awards, things that we miss in gaming, as well as Disney buying Fox and what that could mean for us. We'll also have our fan faves, gamer trivia, name the game segment, and all that other good stuff.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 60 of the Super Co-op Squad Video Game Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Johnny Mack, and I'm here with my good friends, Garrett Laney.
Hello.
And Joshua Gerard.
It's gonna be a long day. A long day.
You got work after this or what?
No, I don't.
Oh, well then you get
right.
to sleep.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, that's right, you're going to PSX.
Yes, I am.
Well, have fun, man. I'm hoping to get my ticket late. We'll see if I get in there or not.
All right.
So yeah, guys, this is the Super Co-op Squad. Every week we talk about the latest news and announcements in video games, pop culture, movies, everything that we enjoy that's nerdy, geeky. I don't think that we're dorks, but dorky, I guess, could be an adjective to describe us, possibly. So we talk about those things, we have fun, and hopefully you have some fun with us. Before we hop into today's content, we're going to get into our terrible spoiler of the week.
Spoiler is, we never quite figure out who eats Gilbert Grape. Evidence points to his mom, though.
I think you're reading that book very wrong. Very wrong way to read this book. So there it is, your terrible spoiler of the week, guys. But for the real spoilers, if you don't want to be spoiled on anything that we're going to talk about, make sure you check our show notes. You can read those by going to scspodcast.com. There will also be a link in the details and the summary of the podcast you're listening to right now, whether that's on Apple, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever. Click that link, it'll take you there, and you can read everything we're talking about, everything we're going to talk about, some pretty pictures, some links, and that way you'll be up to date and you can skip what you don't want to know about. Other than that, let's hop into today's content. So the Game Awards were this weekend, or this past week anyway, and we had the winners. So I think that both of you gentlemen are going to be very pleased with the winner of the Game Awards. So we won't go over all of the categories. We'll go over some of the big ones, and we won't go over all of the nominees. But I think for this particular category, we should. So Game of the Year was between Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn. And the winner is, I'll insert drumroll probably. I'll try to insert one better if I'm not lazy. We'll see. It was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Well deserved.
Yeah, so I think that, I don't think anyone expected anything other than this. Honestly.
I would have also been happy with Mario. Horizon, I would have been happy to see up there, but against those two games, it would have been kind of, okay, good job.
Nice.
Well, Zelda, when we look at it at its core, it redefined how that specific game and that universe has dynamically changed, and not only changed for Zelda, but how we look at open world games. How you can literally go anywhere you can, as far as you can see, and climb anything that is literally there on the screen. That changes everything that can happen to games in the future.
Yeah, it definitely does. I played a good amount now. I got my Switch a couple weeks ago. Joshua, you were kind enough to let me borrow your copy of the game, and I'm working my way through it, so I'll talk about that in a minute. So I want to touch really quickly on something that you said a moment ago, Gary. You said that you would have been happy with Super Mario Odyssey having won. Now, that's a little bit different than do you think it should have won? Like, looking at these 5 games, do you think that Mario Odyssey even had an option to win? Like, do you think that was fair?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Fair enough.
Fantastic game. And not even just like, I'm not coming at it like, oh, no, I like Mario, it was fun. It's a very fun game and very expansive. Brings new mechanics and new, just enjoyment.
Okay, well, I guess what I'm getting at is out of these games, which one would you have picked? If you had to pick one, so what would have been your vote?
I would have picked Zelda.
Okay, fair enough.
Zelda, it was definitely would have been mine. And you talk about Mario, and I completed Mario as well as Garrett. It did a lot of new things, which is awesome, and it's a fantastic game. But you don't really talk about the experiences you've had with Mario as much as the individualized experiences you have with Zelda Breath of the Wild. There are so many moments in that game where you can experience this particular moment, and someone else has never seen that. Like, for example, Garrett, have you seen the skeleton horse?
What?
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I've not seen a skeleton.
Okay, like that. Like, Garrett's probably put at least 150 plus hours in that game has never seen something that I've experienced in person. And
Right.
that's what makes that game great, is talking about it with everybody else that's played it.
Yeah, I haven't nearly put as much time into it. I think both of you have beat it. At least I know you have, Joshua.
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay.
You have not beat Zelda?
We talked about this.
Yeah, that was like 4 or 5, 6 months ago. Ah,
Life goes on.
dang.
As a friend of mine used the quote earlier, "C'est la vie," a couple days ago.
Hey, you've been saying that a couple times.
That wasn't me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it now. I'm giving Brandon his shout out. Yeah, so I do like the game. I didn't put nearly as much time into it. I just recently acquired a Switch, but it was a fun game. I did enjoy it. So congrats to you, Legend of Zelda and Nintendo.
I have a quick question. Yeah, congrats Nintendo for sure. That was awesome. Do you think Player Unknown's game should have been Game of the Year?
I
nominee?
do. I think it deserved to be a nominee. Player Unknown Battlegrounds. PUBG is what we call it on this show,
Yeah.
Joshua.
Sorry.
I won the rock, paper, scissors. I earned this.
Sorry, that was not his question, though. If whether or not you think it deserved to be a nominee. Do you think it deserved to win?
No.
No, to be
He
in the,
asked
be in
the
the
nominee.
Oh, you
category.
said
He
you
didn't
said
ask-
nominee?
Yeah, listen,
Oh,
you
okay.
listen to the question, Garrett.
I will.
Yeah, next time.
I would have been upset.
Trying to get on me. And I'm not listening. You not listening. Yeah, I think it deserved to be up there. I think that because it is revolutionary and what it did this year for gaming. It's done something that most games haven't done as far as the success it garnered and the way it has handled those large, multiplayer battles. And it's done it in a way that has not been really emulated other than, I guess now, Fortnite.
Yeah, and to be essentially a test beta to evolve into what it is now, to evolve next year into an actual game that you can purchase, so to speak. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's doing pretty well. So let's get in just really quickly. I don't want to take too much time because we are running out of time for this segment. A couple of the other key winners. So best game direction was also Zelda. Best narrative was What Remains of Edith Finch. That's a game that none of us really had on our scope, I don't think.
No.
Best art direction was Cuphead.
No surprise. Well deserved.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking at the other nominees: Destiny 2, Legend of Zelda, Persona, Horizon. They all were good looking, but yeah, Cuphead was just an excellent game and an excellent way to, have the art style.
Yeah. Also got best indie game as well.
It deserved it. Then we've got best score, music. Now, Joshua, you're the only one of us that really put any time into Nier. Now, this won over Destiny 2, which has an excellent score, and Cuphead, and Zelda, and Mario.
I actually didn't
wow.
play Nier.
No? What did you play?
You're thinking Neo.
Neo, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, never mind.
Neo was nowhere to be seen on any of these categories as far as I can tell.
I couldn't tell you. I
I'm
don't
a little
know.
surprised that Odyssey didn't win for soundtrack.
We haven't played Nier, so we can't.
That's
Fair enough.
a fair.
Mario does have a great soundtrack, but I guess Nier has one too.
And okay, so here's an interesting thing. They have an award that I haven't seen often, which is best ongoing game.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
it's new to the category.
Yeah, so this is pretty much a game that has continued to have a community after the release, after a longer extended time period. Now, Overwatch won this over Rainbow Six, Warframe, Destiny 2, GTA, and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think GTA should. I'm sorry, I don't think Destiny 2 should have been on that list.
I agree
That-
100%.
It barely came out.
It is a brand new game. Almost nothing from Destiny 1 transitioned over to Destiny 2.
Hey, it's been ongoing 3 months.
So, yeah, ridiculous. So, to be honest though, Overwatch did a great job. Good for you. But I really honestly feel that if this is the first time they've had this award come out, GTA deserved that award.
Yeah, I mean, it's when did it originally come out? Like on 360?
I think like 2012.
Yeah, that's a while.
It's been 5 or 6 years. It has consistently, even to this day, been top 10 in the NPD results for sales every month. It has a huge, robust online community, tons of free DLC.
Yep.
Even if it was just to give them the first one, just to legacy them in, they deserved it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Me being the Overwatch, fan I am, GTA definitely I think should have had that, especially with the it's still getting DLC like to this day.
Yeah, definitely. Any other titles we want to go over before we hop into just some of the announcements?
Best strategy game was Mario and Rabbids. Ha. That was a good game. Best fighting game, Injustice 2. There you go, Garrett. Best action game,
deserves it.
Wolfenstein 2. Best family game, Mario Odyssey. Best mobile game, Garrett.
No.
I don't. none of us really actually cared.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
Not gonna
I
look
brought
it
that up for you.
Mario Run?
It was not Mario Run.
Nah, sure.
Best RPG was Persona 5. Best handheld, Metroid Samus Returns. Best esports game, Overwatch. The last one, best performance from a character, was Melina Juergens. She was the character in Hellblade. Senua's Sacrifice. She was the main protagonist, and I was listening to her speech. She's not even an actress. She's just she's like a video editor for them, and they gave her a chance to actually play the role, and she won in her first ever role. Yeah, so she looks just like the character.
Oh yeah,
that's
without
good for
all
her.
the makeup and stuff. So that's pretty amazing.
Nice. All right, so we got about 4 minutes here to get into some of the announcements, so we'll go through this pretty quickly. And each of us just touch on what you think was a big announcement. Because there were several games announced. Big one for me right off the bat: Soul Calibur 6.
Yes.
So it looks so clean.
It looks amazing. It's been several years now since we've had a new entry into the Soul Calibur fighting genre. And you know what? It seemed to be coming a little late. I mean, the fighting resurgence for gaming came, 2 or 3 years ago. We did not get a Soul Calibur in that time, and we're finally getting one from Namco Bandai.
Yeah, I wonder what the holdup was.
Yeah, but I'm very excited for this. It looks great.
I think it's in the perfect time. I think we're at one of the new peaks of video game for fighting games. We have Street Fighter, we have Marvel, we had Injustice this year. Now we have Dragon Ball Fighters, we have Blaze Blue, the crossover game with Persona and Ruby, and then we have Soul Calibur coming next year. So it's a good time to be a fighting game fan.
It definitely is. Any other games that stand out to you guys? I know the one you're looking forward to, Garrett. I can see you hopping in your chair.
I'll let Joshua go first.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves has a release date, Johnny. Don't know if you're going to end up picking it up.
Yeah, you know what? Sea of Thieves is a very interesting concept, but I still haven't seen enough as far as what I actually do in the game. I keep seeing trailers. I keep seeing, gameplay footage where people are just goofing around on a ship.
Yeah, like you're looking for more sustenance, more, I guess, content.
Yeah, I want to see, do I go adventure? Do we travel? Is there an MMO aspect where we can go do missions together? Like, what is it? And I don't want to just buy a $60 game to goof around on a ship.
Now, what if it's somehow, I don't know, $30-$40?
It doesn't matter. Like, even if it's free, I would download it, probably check it out, but I wouldn't put much time into it if I'm just goofing around. I don't want to just play Pirates of the, Lazabean, like just lazing around the ship. I want to, that's what I keep seeing, right? You can get drunk, drink on the ship, fall around.
That's all you see, ship battles and everything, but there's a slight, like, treasure hunting, but is there more to that? I feel like it's kind of like a server where, like, you hop into a game or a lobby, you search for treasure, and then that's kind of the end.
It doesn't seem to be for me as of yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Was that your pick, Joshua?
No.
Okay.
Witchfire looks pretty cool. But Death Stranding was the standout for sure.
So why? Okay, so you keep talking. Everyone keeps talking about Death Stranding, and let's just not take too much time on any one topic because we only have like 3 minutes left. But I haven't seen what is Death Stranding? What is it specifically?
We don't even know, and I think that's really what the appeal is. You have Kojima, that's an incredible mind, and we're seeing these. This is the third trailer now, where it's just like we still don't know what it is, but it looks awesome, and it looks like, wow, I am peaked at the interest. I need to know more.
I see where you're coming from, Johnny. I was in the same boat, really. Like, I was like, okay, that'll be a thing that people clamor for. I don't really get it. I don't really understand. I watched the trailer. It was like 7 minutes. I still don't know exactly what's going on, but there's a lot of interesting pieces that I'm like, I want to find out more about that.
Okay, I've seen it too. Looks cool. What kind of game is it? Can I get some live action footage? In game footage? Stop just showing me these awesome set pieces and show me the game. Because I don't know what it is.
That's what Kojima do.
I mean, I know what I'm getting with Metal Gear Solid. I know what kind of game I'm getting, no matter how
Now, if you pick up Metal Gear Survival.
In this new one, we'll see. But my point is that there's no hype for that game, not the same way that there is for Death Stranding.
Sure isn't.
So that's my point. So why does this, just his name alone, I feel that shouldn't mean as much if you don't show me something after, 3 years?
He's shown you many things, like throughout his career, he has shown you just nonstop hits. Like, I can't think of any misses from Kojima.
That's fine. That's fair. But legacy for me only goes so far. Okay, Garrett, let's get to your game already.
So, Bayonetta 1 and 2 coming out on the Switch together, February 16th. Very excited for that. I'm curious if Bayonetta 1's going to have all the Nintendo DLC that it did when it released in the Wii U. But more exciting, Bayonetta 3 announced.
Confirmed.
I'm Yes, more Bayonetta, please. And I hope my Bayonetta amiibo has some perks and some use.
I'm pretty sure it does. I see a 2019 release. I don't see that game coming out next year.
That's fine. I'll have Bayonetta 1 and 2 to hold me over.
Yeah, this is cool. Nintendo doesn't typically go all in on mature rated games and content, and they stepped up and really, brought this game back from the brink when it really didn't have a lot of commercial success with Bayonetta 1 when it released on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Then they brought it into their fold, dropped Bayonetta 2, which did well for them, and now it became, part of Smash Brothers. They're getting Bayo 3. I do like the fact that Nintendo's looking a little bit to have some mature content. I hope they continue to do that with more games in their stable.
Yeah, it seems a lot like they're putting a lot of money and a lot of faith into Bayonetta 2 being exclusive and 3 also being an exclusive.
I think it's a smart decision from them, honestly. In a slate, when you look at their slate of games and their roster of titles, there's good games for sure, but one could argue there's nothing for adults. I mean, yes, Zelda and Mario are fun.
There's something for everyone,
Yeah.
but there's not something specifically for
Exactly.
a more mature.
Those are
group.
E for everyone games or E10 for those are children games as far as
watch out now.
the content that is available. So I think this is a good thing.
Yeah, and I think this, for Nintendo, it speaks more volume for Platinum, because we had a miss with the Turtles game that came out a couple years back. We don't know what happened to Scalebound. They're really going all in on this Bayonetta franchise, and Platinum continues to deliver specifically on this franchise. So that is good signs that there may be other stuff, hopefully, that Platinum will do for Nintendo.
I mean, not even just Bayonetta that Nintendo's putting faith in. There's it started, I think, with Wonderful 101.
Yep.
Also Platinum game, very successful. A lot of high regards and everything.
Well, it was critically acclaimed.
Sorry.
It didn't do well with money.
Yeah.
But both your points are valid that Platinum Games knows how to make quality games
Yeah.
when they can get them out of development.
When they're not rushed, because I think they also did the Legend of Korra game, which could have been really good, but was it Activision? Some big publisher was like, "No, get it out now."
Yeah.
And, okay.
That's what happens, Activision, EA. All right, well, that's what we've got, guys, on the Game Awards. Some of the winners. So, congrats to all the winners. Our thoughts on the announcements that popped up. So, let us know what you guys think. You got something?
Oh,
you always have something.
Yeah, sorry. If you guys want to know what happened with the PlayStation Experience, the recap, and what happened with their keynote, it was garbage.
Let's just cover this in your.
Is this the time?
Let's cover this in your in-game boss fight.
Okay.
Because you're gonna go to PSX, so
Yeah.
you're gonna
Okay.
talk about it. So we'll talk about
Cool.
it there. All right, guys. Well, give us your thoughts on the Game Awards. Who should have won? Were there any surprises for you? And what were some of the best announcements that you saw in the Game Awards or read about later? Reach us, contact at scspodcast.net for email, or reach out to us on Twitter at SuperCoopSquad. All right, guys. It's time for fan favorites. We pick. It used to be 10, but now we've changed it up a little bit just for speed's sake and to get quality. It's now 5 rapid questions, and each of us answers to find out where we stand opposed and united in our fandom, our fiefdom. Keep going with this.
Fan phase speedrun.
Play along and find out what are your fan favorites. All right, Garrett, you had the pick, sir.
I did have the pick, and gentlemen, let me set the stage. Your car is in the shop, and you're late for work. You decide to take the bus, but there are only 2 spots left. Who do you sit next to? This is Fan Faves Bus Unfair.
Okay.
You see what I did there?
I
It's
did.
It's like bus fare, but
Thank
it's
you.
unfair.
I wish I hadn't saw it now that you explained it.
It can't be unseen. All right, let's go.
Starting off, do you sit next to the Toxic Avenger or Muck?
Toxic Avenger.
Muck.
Toxic Avenger. Do you sit next to Pigpen from the Peanuts Gallery or Dog Poo, South Park?
Pigpen.
Pigpen.
Pigpen. Jabba the Hutt or Pumbaa after a bean burrito?
Pumbaa.
Pumbaa.
Pumbaa. Meg Griffin or Tina Belcher?
Meg.
That's a lose-lose, man.
Uh-huh.
Tina.
Meg. And last, Medea or Shrek?
Like Tyler Perry's Medea?
What other Medea is there?
That's why I'm asking, just to making sure there's
Yes, Tyler Perry's Medea.
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 Shrek.
I knew you were going to go Shrek. All right, let's break this down, gentlemen. So first we had which one?
First we had the Toxic Avenger, also known as the Toxic Crusader, apparently, or Muck.
I mean, have you seen the movies?
I have seen the movies.
He's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
Except when you get the evil twin counterpart that comes in to destroy everything. He's a nice guy. He'll do nice things for you. I mean, he'll probably clean the bus with his mop.
After he's sitting there, he'll clean off Muck's spot.
Yeah, sure.
So first off, they probably have him listed as Toxic Crusader because they probably got sued by Marvel. Like, he's not an Avenger. Take his name off the list. Like, we have our own Toxic Avenger.
As far as I've known, when the movies came out, it was Toxic Avenger. When the show or comics, I think, he was the Toxic Crusader.
That's my point. They couldn't label him an Avenger.
Could have been the other way around. Could have been comics and cartoon were first, then the movies.
I guess we'd have to look that up, but I don't actually know because I don't read or watch.
I don't care enough to look it up.
Yeah, Muck, guys. You guys are crazy. This guy is radioactive. I'm not sitting next to him. Like, yes, Muck is stinky. Muck is slimy and nasty. Probably smells really bad. He gets everywhere. But, again, like, the Toxic Avenger is radioactive.
That is a good point. But he's nice about it.
He'll
apologize profusely.
As he gives you lung, heart, and breast cancer.
Everything gives you cancer these days.
So listeners shows Toxic Avenger. You guys all want cancer, apparently. 70% to 30% for old Muckety Muck.
Next up, Pigpen or dog poo?
I mean, who wants to sit next to dog poo?
It's a good question.
No one. At least Pigpen is a person who is mildly, like, normal, I guess. Like,
I mean, dog poo is a normal person as well. He's just a normal kid, just
covered in poo.
He's covered in dog poo for whatever reason.
No. All right. And also, Pigpen is like everyone else that rides. I mean, no offense, but there's a lot of people that ride the city bus. And I rode the city bus for many years before I had a car. And many people on that bus are stinky and smelly. Mm-hmm. And so he'd be no different than sitting next to anyone else on the bus.
So you're saying there are mini Pigpens
yes.
on your standard
Yes,
bus.
exactly.
I used to take it when I was in college. Yep. There are definitely people that are like that.
Yeah.
And that's being nice.
It is being nice. And not everyone, but I mean, hey, it happens. And that's just part of the way the city bus system works.
We just have to deal with watching dust immaculate right off them.
But what I don't have to sit next to is a man covered in dog feces. Dog excrement.
Yeah, that would look gross in real life.
Yes, it would.
All right, so 80% chose Pigpen, and then 20% of you want to sit next to a person covered in poo. So, there you go.
All right, next up, Jabba the Hutt or Pumbaa after a bean burrito.
Jabba? Really? No. He'll probably eat you.
Or enslave me and then lick my face.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, he's pretty slimy, man. Like, yeah, no.
But he's got a lot of money.
There's no seats on the bus.
I assume he has to be like he's a top gangster.
Yeah, he does lead a Hutt clan, but yeah, Pumbaa probably sit next to Pumbaa. Maybe I can have him sing to me.
I mean, yeah, but he has been known to clear out the savannah.
Yeah,
that'd be great if you clear out the bus, then I could go sit somewhere else.
Yeah,
you can't get away from the smell though.
No, I couldn't. Hakuna Matata. All right, so 90%.
That means no worries.
It does for the rest of your days. 90% of listeners chose Pumbaa, and 10% of you decided that you want to sit next to a man that might, or not a man, a giant worm that might throw you in a Sarlacc pit.
Maybe they want the bikini.
Well, that means they'd be wearing said bikini.
Yeah, maybe they want the bikini.
Has anyone ever thought about the fact that there's a lot of implications on what happened to Leia in her time there that they never really go into?
She must have been there for a while.
Wasn't probably a great experience for her.
No.
A lot of trauma. All right, next one.
Next is Meg Griffin or Tina Belcher.
There really was no winning here. This was a tough one.
Meg will just keep to herself half the time.
You make a very valid point, actually. Meg is disgusting and gross, but she probably won't bother me. Whereas I chose Tina, but now that I'm looking at Tina might touch me. Yeah. Yeah, or say something to me weird, or like write me in her notebook, or put me in her dreams. So I should have said Meg Griffin.
Yes, you should have.
No, I pick Meg. I mean, they're both weird in their own ways, and you wouldn't choose to sit next to either one if there were any other spots. But of the lesser evils, I find Meg to be slightly more normal and I don't know, withstandable.
Why do you even watch Bob's Burgers. You don't like Gene. You don't like Tina.
It's not that I don't like Tina. I wouldn't want to sit next to Tina.
Okay.
That's different.
That's saying a lot.
I do not like Gene.
It's not that I don't like you. I just don't want to sit next to you.
And it's all about Louise. Louise brings me to that show.
Yeah. I don't think that you thought about that statement, though, in the context of a real person.
Yeah, no.
All right. So that was 70% for May Griffin and 30% for Tina Belcher.
Is this like a regular transportation bus? Is this like Okta?
Yes.
I guess if we happen to stand up, they're standing up next to us because you can stand up in those buses.
No, you got a long ride. It's like a 2-hour bus ride. You got to sit.
I'll stand up.
2-hour bus ride to work that you're running late for.
It's 5 a.m. in the morning. You just got onto the bus. You got a 2-hour ride to your job.
And I'm late. Damn.
Yeah, so you're not going to want to stand up.
All right. Last but not least, Medea or Shrek.
Okay. I just want to say right away, thank you for I know we normally do this at the end and say the results, but I am shocked, listeners, that you would choose Shrek almost unanimously over Medea. That shows a lot of hate for Medea, man.
That is the result I wanted.
I feel like this is the whole Reddit thing we keep talking about. Just a lot of people talk bad about Medea movies, so they don't want to choose Medea. But Shrek is like dirty and disgusting, and he's like annoying at times. Medea can be annoying, but it's more like we're black. It's like black folks talking and hanging out.
And, well, some. Don't throw me into that pit, sir. I mean, onions have layers, man. I don't want to
look. Shrek's got stories. I want to hear stories from an ogre.
Actually,
I don't want to hear hello.
Actually, Medea has many stories.
Mm-hmm.
She went to jail. She's had a couple of Christmas specials.
I'm sure she hunted some ghosts.
She shot people. Some weddings have happened. She's probably gonna go to space in the next movie.
Yeah, Medea goes to the moon.
Medea goes to space. Nah.
She's probably gonna be president one day. Like,
see, the worst part about it is that even if I choose to sit next to Shrek, Medea's still there. Like, on the other side. Still going, hello! It's still just being loud and annoying.
Out of like 18 movies, is that the only thing you got out of the
That's
Medea
literally
films?
all I know.
Wow.
I choose not to watch any of those.
I feel like Medea probably wouldn't even let us sit next to her on the bus.
Right.
When we try to sit down, boy, get about my chair.
I'm gonna bust a cap in you.
Yeah. Sit next to me? What's wrong with you?
So really quick, just with Medea, the plays, if you ever have a chance to watch the plays,
they're good.
They are really, really good. And I know, Garrett, you're probably already thinking no, but the plays and the first couple of films are very, very different from what Medea devolved into, which is pretty garbage.
I can agree with that.
Huh.
But the plays, they're really well done. There's great music, great singers in it. And the first couple of films, they don't actually revolve around Medea. She's just a piece that they go to at times. But they're
really?
Yeah, and a lot of really good actors have been in some of her. My God, he's a man. What the heck am I doing? His films. Taraji P. Henson. You know who that is? No. God, Garrett, you suck.
Oh, okay.
Joshua, you do, right? Please.
Sure.
God, oh my God.
Was that Black Panther?
Okay. Empire, the TV show Empire.
Okay.
With Terrence Howard, and then
I know that guy.
The woman that's like his wife in that show.
Okay,
that's Taraji P. Henson.
Oh,
okay.
She great actress, and she kind of got her start in his films.
Okay.
Anyway, 90% of listeners chose Shrek, and 10% chose Medea.
That'll do, listeners.
So, yep. Thank you for the Pac-Man. All right, well, that is fan favorites. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully you also enjoyed the new streamlined fan favorites. We knew that was getting a little long there at times, so give us some themes for fan favorites next week. Reach out to us on email, contact@scspodcast.net. All right, so this is going to be an opinion piece, changing the games. So over the last 30 years, video games have changed in a lot of ways. Genres, characters, voice acting has been added over text bubbles, multiple consoles, controllers, new ways to get us those games, new packaging, tons of stuff. The list goes on and on. And so I want to take a couple minutes and talk about some of the things that have changed, big or small, for better or worse, and what do we miss, and what are we glad is gone for good. So does anyone have anything they want to start off right off the bat with?
I think it's something that we can all agree with, that we miss instruction booklets, instruction manuals.
Okay. I don't really care anymore, but okay, I don't care now. about instruction manuals. But in the time when they had them, and then that transition to when they didn't, it did make me sad. And it wasn't that they were gone, but instruction manuals in the 90s compared to the 2000s, and then what do we call the 10s? The 10s?
I said what they're called, but I was told to no.
It's stupid. Like, there's no way to say it, right? Like
2010s.
The 2010s. Like, it just sounds like a band.
The 2010s.
Yeah, it does.
2010s.
The B2010s
or something. I don't know. But anyway, the manuals have changed, and manuals in the 90s I missed. But after that, they just were nothing. They didn't matter.
Little pamphlets.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, but I missed the old kind of the booklets that had, character bios or move lists, that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, what happened is, in the 90s, manuals, like you said, they had secrets and hints and, move sets. They sometimes, like you said, a backstory. Like, it was a book that you could bust open. You could maybe read it a little bit, get some more info on the game. A, because they couldn't put that in the game because games they weren't big enough to add those things. But then B, they started the process of taking things out of the game to then sell. And they took instruction manuals and all that stuff that used to be in that thick manual that you might want to read through, and they made it into a guide that you could buy.
Not only that, but they turned into tutorials. Now every game pretty much has a tutorial system where it's just like, hey, let me give you a walkthrough on how the mechanics work and what buttons to press. Like, why spend money on paper where you can just throw it in your game now?
That's a good point. I never thought about. You're right. They didn't have the ability for you to have tutorials in a game, and that was pretty prevalent, after the 90s. That's a good point. Yeah.
Remember in the back of the manuals, you could write notes and passwords, and they have a spot where you can write in the back of your manual.
Yeah. Right. They had a log for you. So it doesn't seem like you cared too much, Joshua.
No, I do. I do miss the manuals. What I don't like is spending $50, $60 on a small piece of plastic with a game in it that literally doesn't have anything in it. Like, I like the small size of the Nintendo Switch games, but you open that up and it's just an SD card looking chip, and everything else is just empty. It's even got a slot that you can hold a manual in it, but there's nothing there.
There's no manual.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Although you do get the full lyrics for Jump Up Superstar.
Yes, you
Super
do.
Mario Odyssey.
Yes, you do.
It's right on that back cover.
Yep.
It's great.
I thought about this, and there's not a crazy amount that I really miss, I guess. But I guess if I had to think about it, I would say I miss old school mascots.
Yeah.
So man.
Yeah, like in the 80s, in the 90s, every game company had like their guy or their gal. Namco had Pac-Man, Sega had Sonic, Nintendo had Mario, PlayStation had
Crash
for
a long time.
Several others, but yeah, Crash for the longest time. Then it became Spyro, Ratchet, Sly Cooper a little bit.
No, Sly was never one of them.
I think he was kind of in their stable, maybe not their main top 5
but
or
Crash,
10.
Crash, like Sony used to have commercials with Crash on it.
Yeah, they did. Oh, I remember those old commercials where they would like make fun of Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly.
That was Sega.
Yeah, no.
Sega do what Nintendo.
Well, Sega did do that, but they actually had commercials with a guy in a Crash Bandicoot suit, just kind of yelling at the Nintendo building.
Through a megaphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I miss those. I miss like those old school mascots that you could stand behind and know you're going to get a quality, maybe platformer or action adventure game. And that's changed a lot to where all the, not even mascots, but the main protagonist characters that these companies stand behind are these giant buff warriors. Halo, Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix and random Call of Duty guy on the cover looking really somber. Like, that's all you see now.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. It's not easy for them to make a mascot, I think, because people, I don't know, it's weird to say. I don't know if that's more because of the company or do gamers even want mascots anymore? Do we just want a quality game? Or is it like, can there be a mascot, And
it actually means something for the company.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, because those games that a lot of people like tend to be, multi-platform, you can't really have a company mascot or with that.
Okay, well, why not? I guess, at some point with all those companies, they were not all independent, publishers and developers. They had a console to push behind. But even so, like, Capcom, they never had a console, but I think everyone can agree that at one point in time, their mascot was Mega Man. Like, hands down. So why can't we continue to have that and have that character that's iconic to a publisher or a developer?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to say like okay, not to continue the EA hate train, but who would be EA's mascot?
Yeah, you're the conductor of that train.
They're just all sports. They just have all sports.
Football. That's their
football,
mascot.
soccer ball, basketball, hockey
all right.
puck.
Okay, Activision.
Spyro. No?
I mean, just I wouldn't call them their mascot.
It's just a gun.
Just a gun.
Just a gun.
Just all right. But yeah, that's what I feel is missing.
Ubisoft, what do they have? An assassin?
Probably
No, they
that
have
or Rayman.
Rayman. Yeah, Rayman would be theirs.
Yeah, Ubisoft did have Rayman.
So
My thing, Johnny, I'm surprised you didn't say it.
Yeah, I am too.
Couch co-op.
really, you guys thought? Well, I mean, okay, go into it.
Is that what you were gonna?
No, that's what I figured Johnny was going to say.
Yeah, thinking you were gonna say you miss couch co-op. I do miss couch co-op. We don't have a lot of. It's not even just party games, just games that you can enjoy with multiple people in the home. We have systems that can play up to 4-player slots for controllers, but yeah, we hardly have any games that support 4 people in the same room. Why do we really need 4 controllers? Like 1 per person, per family member, I guess.
Yeah, co-op has definitely changed over the years, and it's definitely not even. I don't even think it's a top 10 genre. Like, it's just not even included in most games anymore. So yeah, I could definitely agree with you. I missed that.
Specifically couch co-op, right? That's what you're saying?
That's what I said.
Yeah,
just
because a lot of the games have co-op.
online co-op.
Yeah. You're right, Joshua. There's not couch co-op, but to answer that other part, Garrett, even just regular co-op is dwindling pretty badly. Like if you look at most games, like shooters, they're just taking it out. Like it's not even in some games. I feel like they're just going to multiplayer for a lot of games.
I agree with that.
Nah, I don't think it's disappearing. I think there's other games that just don't require it as much. And yeah, I do see a lot of companies jumping to multiplayer instead for whatever reason. But I don't think co-op itself is dwindling.
I think it is. It's just more games are coming out that are either single player or multiplayer, and the multiplayer doesn't have any co-op features. Most Call of Duty games, or even if you take the Activision ones with Infinity Ward, they had like Spec Ops missions that were co-op, but they aren't really designed for strictly co-op as a game. We're like, hey, this is a co-op game. Like Rayman. The Rayman games, clearly it's a co-op game, not a multiplayer game. We don't see many of those anymore.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's get some non-hypotheticals. What are some games in the recent year, or 2, if you need to kind of push through, that have cooperative play that have released in the last couple of years?
Well, I was going to go that far back, or limit myself. But I'm saying like there's another Borderlands coming out. Borderlands, obviously, Diablo.
Yeah, that's not here yet. But I mean, what's out right now? I mean, I guess you could say Destiny 2. You can't say Call of Duty that doesn't have co-op.
No.
Yeah, you could say Cuphead is the only thing that really comes to mind.
Yeah, give me some like last 2 years, maybe even last 3. Like what has dropped?
Like I
put you on the spot a little bit,
but it's there. I don't know the extent of Super Mario Odyssey's co-op.
Yeah,
it's there.
I don't count that.
Yeah, I played with my wife. It's rough,
co-op.
Man. Yeah,
I don't even know what it is. Does someone play as Cappy?
Yeah, someone plays as Cappy.
Oh.
It's the equivalent of Super Mario
Galaxy. Really?
And yeah, you really don't do much
because that was not co-op.
Yeah, it's rough.
That was garbage.
Yeah, wasting my star bits.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they do have some shooters, Gears of War and Halo, and some even Halo. I can't even say that it came out like 3 years ago. It's been too long, but there's not actually that many games that you go, okay, let's hop online and let's play through this campaign together that are releasing as much. And I mean,
well, I guess would co-op and multiplayer are separate? Because say For Honor.
That is absolutely multiplayer, not co-op.
All right.
Although you just didn't know this, there is a cooperative part of the game because there's a campaign. There is co-op, but it is such a garbage campaign as to not even. It was like they just threw it in just to say they had a single player campaign,
just to make it the bullet point on the back of the case.
Exactly, but it was pure garbage.
All right.
So one game that I would give like an asterisk to would be like the Soul series, because that it's mainly single player, but the game world is designed around allowing you to jump in and out with co-op / PvP. So that would be like the asterisk exception to like co-op, because it has a lot of co-op features that are dedicated and actually entice you to play with other people.
See, what sucks about that though is that it can go either way, because can't they also attack you? Or is that specific ones?
There are specific ones where people can invade your world. Now it's a PvP.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess this is going to transition into the other side of things that I'm glad are gone, but this is pretty much in the same camp. Things I miss. Let me rephrase it. Things I miss. I miss challenging games, and when I say that, I mean games that don't require you to input like dozens and dozens of hours to master and still be good at. So like Cuphead. Cuphead is a game that you can put some time into to get really good, but you could just play and enjoy the game. But there's so many games now, especially multiplayer games, where there's like this surface level of playing the game, and then there's this huge, I'm talking this labyrinthian like amount of game, like I guess learning to be competitive. Curve. Yes, to be competitive against other people. And that's not a challenge as far as the game. That's just a challenge of competitiveness against other people. And what I'll reference, Gears of War, for instance. Gears of War is not a challenging game. You could just play it. But if you try to play against others, because there's so many little details, wall bouncing and learning all the little tricks, that you'll just get destroyed. And I don't think that's cool. I don't like the fact that you can't go into a game and just compete if you're not dedicating dozens of hours. On the flip side, I like games like Cuphead or Ninja Gaiden back in the day, or anything like that, where I could play the game and the challenge was me mastering it in and of by myself.
Yeah, I can agree with that point. Garrett doesn't like those type of challenging games, so he passes on that. But I will disagree with you on the fact that even if you take a game like Gears of War, that's a brand new IP when it launches, at some point in time, there are going to be people that are just way better than you, and it doesn't matter how much time you may or may not input. There's always going to be people that are going to dominate a particular game. So at what point do you even see it as an even playing field?
Okay, so you make a pretty good point. You're right, because no matter the simplicity of the game or not, I mean, I look at like, Team Fortress or GoldenEye back in the day. Those games don't have a lot of like crazy detail that's buried under the surface. But you're right, people can still get way better than you and just beat face. That's definitely true. Yeah, but my point is that is not the game specifically being more challenging. That's just people being better than me at the game. But the game itself is not a challenge, because I can't just enjoy and experience the game's, upscaling, challenging difficulty.
So I feel like to get what you're looking for, it seems to be mostly a single player experience. To get the challenge that you're looking for.
Yeah, I suppose, because if you look, all right, so single player nowadays, it's really just like a precursor to a game's multiplayer most of the time. And so you blow through the single player, then you go hop online, and then now it's uber competitive. But I would have appreciated that challenge in just the regular game. I feel there's a difference there, a slight difference.
Yeah, there definitely is. I think the Souls series has a lot of that kind of challenge that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. There's also, we mentioned earlier how like in Gears of War, you can just play the game playing naturally, but then there's tricks and things that you can do. Not to toot its horn again, but Super Mario Odyssey, it seems on the surface it's a Mario game. It'll be easy. There's a lot of puzzles and a lot of kind of mechanics that you can learn, that like advanced stuff, mm-hmm. to get you going, to get you things. There's a lot of things you can get probably the non-intentional way. I think if you can master this.
Yep.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I've been watching my wife play it a lot, and you're right. You can beat the game with the basic maneuvers, but if you really want to excel and get 100% completion, you got to master the game.
Yeah.
So I see that. Okay. Anyone have anything else? Because I got my next thing on the bad side, on the thing that I'm glad is gone.
Okay, I think we can move on to that.
Yeah. All right. Memory cards. Yeah. I don't miss memory cards one damn bit. There was nothing and is nothing good about a memory card. It had very little memory. They were breakable. They were losable. They were just a device. I get it. I get why you needed it at the point in time, but it just wasn't efficient, and it just made things more of a hassle. I can't think of one point in time now where I'm like, oh man, I wish I had a memory card. Never. Never.
I mean, say like you go to a friend's house and you have all the characters unlocked, but they don't.
Oh, you know what that's called? A USB stick, a flash drive, because you can literally do that.
That's a memory card.
Yeah, but it's optional. It's optional. It's not necessary. Not necessary. Yeah. I don't have to have that. If I want it, I go get it. Yeah, but I can still play and save my game without it.
Well, now that technology has evolved, yeah.
Well, that's my point. I don't care why it happened. I'm just happy that it happened. Come on, you can't say you enjoyed memory cards back in the day. You were happy to have to go buy one.
I played a lot of systems that had cartridges, and it was already built in.
An
N64 did require a memory card for other games.
I had a box full of memory cards because they couldn't hold. Back then, I could play a lot of games, and I would just start different files and just try stuff. But, mm-hmm. I really like that the PS3, when it first came out, had that option where you can transfer your memory card data into the PS3.
Yeah.
Thought that was really cool. I got rid of all my memory cards after that.
Yep. I remember that.
But yeah, okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Mine, something I'm glad that's gone, if not going. Wired controllers.
Oh God.
It's a good thing
Another
those are
good
gone.
Mhm.
I mean, sure, I don't think when they made these wired controllers, they imagine, no one's going to play 10 feet from a TV. Come on. But, as new stuff comes out and kids get their own places, they grow up and get their own places. I mean, I hope there's no 7-year-old that's like paying rent or something like that.
I'm sure there is somewhere.
Sorry,
He's
little
just
Timmy.
a millionaire.
Oh, never mind. Screw you, Timmy.
Screw you.
Pay my rent.
Rich baby.
But, as living rooms got bigger, you can't really confine yourself to, 3 feet in front of a television still.
Right.
So it's nice that you can have that freedom. You don't have to worry about finding a right positioning to kind of like, I want to be here, but then the wire kind of it touches my hands and
Yep.
I don't like that. I need freedom of movement.
Yep, I agree. Plus, they probably learned that being 3 feet in front of your television was not good for your eyes.
Right.
I don't think they cared.
I'm pretty sure people complained about
Oh,
it.
I'm sure people complained about it. I
And
don't
thus-
think people cared.
Well, maybe
No,
they
well,
didn't
sorry,
care,
companies.
but the companies only cared because people were upset.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Nintendo making the 2DS because people complained that the 3DS was bad for children's eyes.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
yeah, but you're right. The company doesn't care because they care. They care because people are going to be pissed.
I mean, but Nintendo takes it to the next level. 5 minutes later, you should probably take a break.
That is true. They do
Right.
they do say that.
Or you have the option to turn on parental lock so you can lock the 3D out, so you can't use it.
Yep. All right, what do you got, Joshua? What do you think?
Yeah. Two, the really quick one. I'm glad that physical magazines and media is going away. Like
Dang.
I was big in collecting Nintendo Power, and I had I'm not a fan of players guides for like cheats. I like to do everything on my own. As a kid, I would get players guides to vicariously play the game through reading it. Like I would renew my Nintendo Power subscription. They give you an option for a free strategy guide. So I was like, cool, I'm going to get Yoshi's Story, even though I'm probably never going to buy the game. Just because it's a free guide, I got to pick one.
Right.
So I'm glad that I don't see like stacks and stacks and stacks of magazines just being wasted in a game section or a player's guide. But the other thing that I'm glad is gone.
I got one while you think of it.
Okay.
So you keep thinking, Garrett, you listen.
Yes, sir.
So I love you, Microsoft. You stop listening, Joshua. Think of yours. Think of yours while I'm filling time for you. Love you, Microsoft. But you're living in the freaking past. No more freaking batteries. God, catch up to Nintendo right now. Like, catch up to Sony. Make a rechargeable freaking controller. Why are we using battery packs in 2017? If Nintendo can do it right now, there's no excuse for you.
I'll tell you why, Johnny. Because then they can't sell you the rechargeable pack.
I mean, yes, I know why, but we're living in the past. We're living in the past, Microsoft.
They have it there. They have the option there for you. It's just for an extra $40.
No, those batteries, for whatever reason, because I've had those packs, they never work as well as Sony and their rechargeable battery packs.
I agree with that, yeah.
And, before I could say, okay, well, I guess it's only one of the big three that are doing rechargeable battery packs. Nintendo and Microsoft aren't on board, so I can't be mad at Microsoft. But now Nintendo has done it. You need to get on board, Microsoft.
Not only has Nintendo done it, but Nintendo does it with like all of their controllers, Joy-Cons, Pro controllers. I'm sure they'll have some other newfangled device.
Yes. So yeah, Microsoft, you're living in the past. I thought I could get rid of this, and it's still here. Get rid of it.
Yep, I remember now. I'm glad we don't have a million non-essential accessories. Like we still have, you go in the game store, you still see a bunch of accessories, but years ago there was a ton of third-party extra controllers and nonsense. There was a bunch of, why are you giving me the sideways look, Johnny?
Have you seen the Switch?
That's a little bit different though, because those are customizable stuff. I'm not talking about customizable stuff like extra, like backpacks and crap you can carry. I'm talking about a little extra like memory card holders and charging docks for 4 controllers when you're only going to buy 2.
Okay, I can.
Cable extenders, like dumb little stuff like that. Let me get flight stick controllers for one flying game and the entire history of the console.
Yeah,
Okay, but the people that bought those probably really enjoyed them.
That's totally fine.
Cable extenders suck, dude.
I mean, they were needed. There have been a couple of times where we've used them.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they weren't necessary at that point in time, but they suck. So I can agree with that.
You just go down an aisle and it's a bunch of extra stuff that you're like, man, I don't need any of this.
You
and
remember-
you skip an entire aisle.
You remember the Wii Sports accessory pack?
Yeah, like stuff like that.
You attach a baseball, a little mini baseball, a
It's
racket,
a piece of plastic.
golf club.
Whoever uses that, who would ever buy that?
Yeah, who was like, all right, I'm going to load up Wii Sports. Let me go ahead and change the game. Then I'll put on my racket. All right, I'm switching over
Ready
to
go. Oh, golf.
switching to golf. Let me
Hold on.
See,
All right, it's baseball
perfect
time.
example.
I'm
Yeah.
playing ping pong with the Wii remote. Let me put the ping pong on.
Oh man.
Just aisles full of like cases for your Game Boy Advance games. Like nobody cared.
I mean,
just threw them in a shoebox.
Let's not lie. There were some accessories that were needed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, say, a GBA game holder. You can just bring your case full of your games, and you have to bring all the individual box, or maybe stuff them in your pocket and hope not to lose any.
Or smash them somehow.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean, there were some that had their place.
That one has a Game Boy case, but this one had a Game Boy case with a worm light and then 3 like game cases, and then the one next to it had one where it has an extra case and a backup back. Like, how many different versions do you need?
Well, you need the worm light if you're going to play it at nighttime.
Just get the Game Boy SP at that point.
All right. So yeah, I can agree with that fact. All right, so we're over on time on this one. So
Damn, I forgot them.
that was a good one. You have something real quick?
I forgot.
Okay, good, because we got to move on. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little segment. What did you hate? What did you love from the old school days of gaming? Let us know. All right, guys, it is time for gamer trivia. So every week, 2 of our hosts go head to head in a best of 5 trivia contest. The winner stays and plays next week. The loser, well, they lose.
The loser is Johnny Mac.
Shut up. All right, I'm gonna start having some fun when you guys lose, just making you feel bad.
I didn't do anything.
You do something every time I lose. Every time I lose, you got something to say. Every time. So I'm gonna start making fun of you guys, hardcore.
Well, these crowns are colliding.
Yep.
All right.
I wasn't gonna point this out, but I feel that because I often get on you guys and give you some hard times, especially when I combat you with your opinions, I feel it'd be nice to tell you that I am literally the only person that is right now at this moment not a champion. Angelica is a champion. Garrett is a champion. Joshua is a champion. All 3 of you have a streak that you have not lost yet, technically. It's a technicality, because Angelica did beat you boys.
Oh, yeah, she did.
But technically, you still have your 1-1 because that is a guest episode.
Mm-hmm.
So if it makes you feel any better, I'm the only one that doesn't have a championship crown on their head.
That doesn't make me feel better. I want us all to do great.
No, you don't. You want to win.
Well, yeah. I want to do greater.
It's not enough that I should succeed, but that you should fail as well.
I want you to succeed, but I want to succeed more than you, Johnny.
All right. Well, it's finally time. We've where's it go? Oh God.
It's finally time for Johnny to do Disney trivia.
No, I had like
He's gonna have fun facts.
I hope.
He's not
Johnny
gonna.
never has fun facts.
no, I'm
not gonna have fun
definitely
facts.
not going to have fun facts.
Johnny doesn't
Dang.
do research. He has a whole podcast. He doesn't do research.
I mean, just Google whatever subject. Fun facts.
Oh, now you get concerned about me being able to see.
You never can see, but I don't want you to see. All right,
If I really tried.
here we go. We waited a long time, and Garrett, I'm sorry, but I've tried to put this off, and I tried to make the questions as fair as possible.
Is it sports related?
Nope.
Is this NBA trivia?
Hopefully,
It's a mobile game.
hopefully your scouting sensor works correctly.
Oh shit.
Hopefully your power level's good enough.
Okay.
This is Dragon Ball Z trivia.
It's a good thing I watched the first episode of Dragon Ball Super at 2 a.m.
Well, there we go. You're set. You got your training in
Has
the
nothing to do
hyperbolic
with Dragon Ball Z. Yes. Sorry, I ruined the joke. Johnny was about to make a hyperbolic time chamber joke.
for once. All right, let's do this.
I'm right. So if I lose it's because I gave Garrett
If you
a winning
lose,
chance.
I will never let you live this down.
That's
never.
fine. I've never seen all of Dragon Ball Z in its entirety.
Here we go. Question 1. What is Bulma's last name?
See, this is like irrelevant stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't make it like easy thing because I know you'll blow him away.
You can't make me live it down for not knowing Bulma's last name, which is almost irrelevant in the whole show.
Okay, fair enough.
Can you tell I don't know it, listener? Can you tell I don't know what her last name is?
All right, here we go. Is it A, trunks, B, briefs, C, shorts, or D, bloomers?
Wow. And one of these is supposedly correct.
Right?
Is there an E? Where's the E?
No, there's no E.
Okay, read off the list again.
A, trunks, B, briefs, C, shorts, or D, bloomers?
Oh, man.
I don't know.
I have both answers, Joshua and Garrett.
If you're like me, Garrett, you pick my answer.
It might not be.
Joshua, you chose A, trunks, Bulma trunks.
And Trunks.
Garrett, you chose B, Bulma briefs.
Sounds better.
Because there's bees?
The correct answer is B. Her name is Bulma Briefs.
So Trunks' name is Trunks.
Correct
Briefs.
for you, Garrett.
Does Vegeta have a last name? It would be the father's last
If they're married,
name. Vegeta Trunks.
I don't think they're married.
Vegeta Briefs.
And Joshua, unfortunately, that is incorrect for you, my good friend. All right, that's 1-0.
I'm never gonna forget that. Hey, it's Bulma Briefs.
Oh, it'll be
Alright.
brief.
Question 2. Who grows and distributes sensu beans? Is it A, Pan, B, Oolong, C, Puar, or D, Corn?
I don't know that damn name of that character.
Right? Here we go.
You know who it is, alright?
I know the face.
It's Grandpa Cat.
Yep. I just don't remember the name.
All right, Joshua, you said C, Puar. Garrett, you said D, Corn. Correct answer. I love this tension looking at them. It's funny.
It's not much tension.
The answer is D, Corn, the stupid little cat thing.
Yeah, he's old. He's got a staff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Grandpa Cat.
All right, well, that is 2 for Garrett, 2 Joshua 0. So,
Ding,
And-
ding, 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 ding.
and that is incorrect for Joshua. Meh.
Fun fact number 1. Johnny said this was going to be fair. He was right in the wrong way.
All right, here's a fun fact for you, you jerk. Fun fact number 1. The farmer, who was the first person who welcomes Raditz to Earth when he is being scouted on the scouting sensor, he has a power level, because of his shotgun, of 3.
So without the shotgun?
It would have been like a 0 or a
Oh,
1.
Negative.
jeez.
Yep, there's that. All right, question number 3.
I think he made that.
I didn't actually. All right, Bulma is the inventor of Capsule Corp. Her first invention, Capsule number 1, does what? A, it turns into a submarine. B, it turns into a house. C, it turns into a flying vehicle. Or D, it turns into a motorcycle.
It's a 25% chance, Gary. Just pick one.
You can say that for every question.
Exactly.
All
Because
right.
This is getting me nowhere.
I have Garrett's answer and I have Joshua's answer. Joshua, you chose B. Garrett, you chose D. The correct answer is B, a house.
I'm going to say, you're pulling an Angelica right now. It's getting all of them right.
That's
Yeah, she
correct
got
for
one
you,
wrong too.
Joshua,
Yeah, not till the 5th one.
and that is incorrect for you, Garrett. Score is 2-1.
So you're saying there's still a chance?
There is still a chance. Just a tiny one. Tiny little one. All right. Question 4. The hyperbolic time chamber, something that, much to my dismay, we discuss all too often on this show, allows you to go in for a small amount of time. Go in and a small amount of time passes on Earth, and a large amount of time passes in the chamber, allowing one to train very quickly for an event that's occurring out in the real world. How much time passes in the hyperbolic time chamber for every minute in the real world? So when you're in the time chamber, how much time do you go through compared to the 1 minute in the real world? Is it A, 1 year, 1 day, and 1 minute? Is it B, 1 year exactly? Is it C, 6 hours and 5 minutes? Or is it D, 1 week? So A is 1 year, 1 day, and a minute. B is 1 year. C is 6 hours and 5 minutes. D is 1 week. How much time passes? I have Joshua's answer. Again, I'm saying for every minute. I have both of your answers. Garrett, you chose A, 1 year, 1 day, and 1 minute. Joshua, you chose B, 1 year. The correct answer is C, 6 hours and 5 minutes. So 1 day in the hyperbolic time chamber is a year. One day outside is a year in the time chamber. That equals 6 hours and 5 minutes per minute outside. So that is how that works. So that is incorrect for both of you gentlemen. Score is still 2-1 in Garrett's favor. All right, question 5. I am enjoying this so much. So much fun. So much fun. All right, question 5. Just after Cell's defeat, what is the final wish that Krillin makes with the Earth Dragon Balls? Is it A, bring all of Cell's victims back to life? Is it B, transporting Goku to the lookout from the battlefield? Is it C, a full head of hair? Or is it D, removing the bombs from inside the androids?
I think there's a technicality in your question. I'm going to tell you.
You can ask it if you'd like. I have Joshua's answer.
Can I just get the question one more time?
Yeah, so he uses the Earth Dragon Balls to make a final wish. What is his wish?
You said Krillin's wish, right?
Krillin's wish. That sounds like a cool movie.
Krillin's wish? Maybe in a non-Dragon Ball world. Don't ask Siri for help.
Don't ask Siri. She probably wouldn't know. All right, I have both your answers. Garrett, you chose A, which is bring all the victims back to life. Joshua, you chose D, which is remove the bombs from the androids. The correct answer is D, removing the bombs from the androids. So that is correct for you. I'm sorry, that is incorrect for you, Garrett. And that is that's correct. So I can get my little timey thing to work.
That's why she's his waifu.
Yep.
And now his wife.
That's correct for you, buddy. So good job.
But then how did he get hair?
He actually just grew it.
He grew it.
He just grew it.
All right. It's time for the salty sudden. The salty sudden question.
What are the points?
What's
the score?
It is 3-2. Joshua's favor.
3-2? No, it's twos.
Oh, is it 2-2? Really?
Yeah, it's twos. I counted twos.
Deuces then.
It's 2-2.
Deuces. All right, so it's 2-2. My mistake. Bet your points.
Damn.
I would have liked to have been up.
Whatever you bet, if you get the question right, you get that many points. You get it wrong, you lose that many points. But I'm Johnny Mac. I always have some fun with this. So whatever you just bet, whatever number that is, for each one of these correct answers, you get 1 point. If you get them all, I will double your score again. Okay? So that's how this is going to work. The question is, name as many Z fighters as you. All right, fine.
We knew it.
Name the Ginyu Force, jerks.
Please, no, you can't change the question.
I can do whatever I want to do. Why can't I change? You guys just made fun of me. You just made fun of me.
We didn't make fun of you. We just knew what question it was going to be.
Oh, okay.
That's not making fun of you.
All right, so you weren't ridiculing me?
No. Why would we ridicule?
Okay.
I mean, what?
Well, why?
What was there to ridicule?
Well, why would you ridicule me? Because you're Garrett Lady.
No, what was there to ridicule?
The question. You rolled your eyes pretty heavily there. Why did you roll your eyes?
More likely because you're the one that doesn't like these type of questions.
And I do it to you because you do it to me. If you stop doing it to me, I'll stop doing it to you.
That's why we knew it was a kind of an obvious answer.
So name as many Z fighters as you can.
See, that gives Garrett a chance because Garrett does not know anybody in the Ginyu Force. That would have been completely unfair to Garrett. Just saying.
All right, go ahead. Take your time. Knock it out.
Does spelling matter?
I don't care, man.
So if we get one wrong, it's just wrong?
Yeah, if it's just wrong, you get it wrong. I won't dock you any points. While we're waiting, has anyone realized that the only character that actually exhibits a passage of time is Gohan? Everyone else stays exactly the same. You ever think about that?
No, Krillin has hair.
I mean, sure.
Well, because the adults just look like adults.
Forever. He goes from being like 7 to like 25, and they never change.
Because Saiyans have a longer lifespan.
What about all the
regular
humans?
Saiyans have a longer lifespan than regular humans, so they look
I heard that, but what about all the regular humans that don't age?
like
all the humans. Bulma, Roshi, Chi-Chi, Mr. Satan.
Roshi looks like he gets older. Satan looks like he gets older in Super. Bulma actually does.
I'm talking about just DBZ here. Just DBZ.
Do you know what the timeline is for DBZ?
It has to be at least 10 years.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at Bulma in Frieza Saga, and then you look at Bulma towards the end of like Buu Saga, it's different. Bulma goes through phases. Remember when she used to have long, like afro-y hair? Like
her hair changed. But okay, all right. Give me your answers. All right, Garrett, you answered Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, Krillin, Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Android 18. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11. That gives you, and you bet 2 points. That gives you plus 22. That gives you 24 points right now.
Do they count 18?
I mean, oh yeah, they do. They do.
The male?
They do. Yes, they count.
Or
her.
sorry, the female? They count her?
Yes, they do.
Really?
They really do.
Wow.
Joshua, you said Krillin, Goku, Gohan, Trunks, Goten, Vegeta, Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, Piccolo, Master Roshi.
I took the count.
You also
I didn't hear
gave me 11. That's 22 points. And you bet 2 points as well. That brings you guys both to 24 points.
You gave 11?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, my Android 18 was your Roshi. We had everything else the same.
Did you say Piccolo in his list?
Piccolo's there.
He did. I see it. So you guys somehow took this and tied. All right. Now I got to come up with another question.
Well, before you do that, did we miss anybody?
Yes, you did. You missed several. So not everyone. No, I don't think anyone said Yajirobe.
I didn't think he would count.
Neither did
Yajirobe.
Yajirobe.
Pan counts.
I was thinking about putting her.
Pan is not in Dragon Ball Z.
I'm just saying who they consider a Z fighter, and Pan is in Dragon Ball Z.
Pan's in GT.
She's in. I'm pretty sure
I don't
she's in.
think so,
she's
because,
not in
because
Dragon Ball
that
Z.
isn't that Gohan and Vidal's daughter?
Oh, you're right.
I'm not
You're
making a call out to you. I'm just saying if they count Pan, that's crazy.
Yeah, there's also Oob.
I didn't think Oob counted either.
Yeah,
Isn't Oob GT?
No, he makes an appearance.
He's in there, yeah.
They talk about him a couple times. Not
He's
very
at the
often.
end of Z.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Did
So-
they count Majin Buu?
No. No, they don't. All right. So give me a second here as
Go ahead. That's it? Only two? We only missed two?
as far as the list that I see, yeah.
Oh my gosh. They count
3 if you
Yajirobe?
count the ones that we missed.
Yajirobe, Pan. Well, this is going to get cut out. Oob should not be a Z fighter. Oob is at literally the very
he's-
end of Dragon Ball Z. He's who Goku fights at the end of the martial
He's the
arts
last-
tournament.
He's a little brown
Yes.
kid with the mohawk.
Yes.
I thought that was. I know he showed up.
He shows up in GT, but he's at the very end of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, he's literally in the last
Does
episode.
he have anything?
Yeah, he's the reincarnation of Boo.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is going to be all for all the marbles here. Give me your answer. The points don't matter at this point. Whoever gets it right. How does Goku learn the instant transmission? Well, or I'll accept like the circumstances if you don't know like how he does it. You're so cocky, you ass. Oh, that sucks for you, Garrett. Sucks for you.
I think I made up a word.
You do that often enough.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Well, we have a winner,
Well, yeah.
and it may not be who you think.
What is this?
Garrett's answer. Future Trunks teaches it to him. Garrett's answer. I'm sorry, that was Garrett's answer. Joshua's answer. He learns it after he kills Frieza, and he travels to a faraway planet where the Yardashians teach it to him. Or after they teach it to him.
Yardratians.
The Kardashians.
You gave me way more than I needed, but Joshua's answer is correct.
Well, yeah.
That's messed up. Why would you do that to Garrett?
I don't know.
Do
why.
what?
why
Someone's a
you do
champion, and it's not who you think it is. No.
I said it may not be. They do that all the time in the news, and then they tell you exactly what you thought it was going to be.
This ain't the news, and it's 3 of us. What?
Well, no, there's more than 3 of us right now. Whoever's listening right now counts as someone that's participating. So
They're not in the trivia at this moment.
they could be doing trivia in their mind right now. Maybe they had the answer. Maybe they thought they were going to win, and they just lost. All right, well that's correct for you. So good job on your championship,
Give you props on that list though.
Yeah.
Garrett. He summoned all his spirit energy, and he missed.
I should have put Yajirobe because it wouldn't have mattered if we got it wrong. It wasn't going to count
That's
against
true.
us.
You would have just done that to make me do another question.
Well, no.
No, just I would have put more answers had
I
I
see.
because I wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have mattered.
I see. I gotcha. Through the old Destructo disc, and the tail of Vegeta, and just missed.
The tail of Vegeta.
Yeah, that happens.
He's an ape.
That
Oh,
happens. Yes.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, that is trivia. Long trivia.
Long sword style.
All right. So, last segment here. Disney is in talks to possibly buy a large amount of Fox, 21st Century Fox, and a lot of their holdings. So, very quickly, I'll just go into what this actually is. Disney is looking to purchase the intellectual properties and the movie and television studios that that Fox Incorporated owns. That, of course, for those of you who are very aware of these things, that does not include any of the broadcasting studios legally. ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and a couple other networks, they are not allowed to merge their broadcasting studios. So that would still stay separately, as well as the news outlets that Fox has. They would retain those. However, all the TV shows, Futurama, Simpsons, Family Guy, all of the movies and the intellectual properties that Fox owns, Aliens, The Avatar, X-Men, Fantastic Four, all of those things would become the property of Disney, is what we're looking at here. And there's other ramifications, but that's generally what we're looking at. How do we feel about this? It's a lot. There's a lot of depth here.
You want to go? Cause I got some words.
I mean, I'm probably not going to be very long. So I understand people's concern. I like this a lot.
Okay. Specifically, why?
I like that Disney is going to have control, pretty much.
Control?
Assuming control.
Yes, control.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's going where my thought process is. Disney is looking to monopolize like all of these properties. So even if you take, I mean, we can agree that the Marvel side of it, that's going to be huge if they acquire like X-Men rights and things like that. That's like the big winner. Yeah. But if you look at TV shows like Family Guy and Futurama, like Disney is gonna, if they acquire those rights, whenever their streaming service pops up, they're gonna have literally everything that people like go to Netflix to binge watch or Hulu. And then you look at, from a marketing perspective, Disney knows how to market stuff. Disney knows how to flesh out toys and t-shirts and everything. They will be able to make so much money off merchandise if they own all this stuff, that it's in a business, you know, with the business results and business acumen, that's a big win for them just on merchandise alone, not even including what they can do as far as, you know, movie rights and deals and that kind of thing.
Okay, so to sum it up, Garrett, you like this?
Yes.
Joshua, you like this?
It's a good business move. I don't like it because it doesn't allow other people but Disney to make the call for all these different type of properties.
All right. So I'm Johnny. I just give you a Johnny answer. I like the fact that Disney is going to gain a lot of these intellectual properties, Avatar, Aliens, in particular, like most fanboys right now, they're going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that they're going to get back X-Men and Fantastic Four. Those are great things. I think this is a really, really bad thing for the media and entertainment industry. There's a couple of reasons for this. The first reason is we need to have more options for people to go and pitch their ideas. If Fox loses all of their entertainment studios and it becomes owned by Disney, that's one less place that creative people can go and pitch ideas. Because typically you go, okay, I'm going to go to Disney. Now I'm going to go to Fox. And who picks it up? Now it's just Fox is Disney. So now you just have one outlet. That's a big problem for me.
Yeah, and if they turn you down, you got nowhere else to go.
You're losing places to go. The second problem with this is, for me, is that right now, Disney in the last couple of years, they got about 27% market share in theater entertainment box office sales. If they include Fox, that's 40%. Now, that's not a problem in the fact that Disney would be making great films. The problem here is what we're seeing that just happened with Star Wars, where now Disney, because they are in such a huge market share capacity, they can begin to dictate terms to theaters and other companies to say, well, you do what we say or you get screwed out. And they've done that multiple times. They've done that right now at The Last Jedi and the negotiations with theaters. They did that when the LA Times negatively reviewed them and their deal, which is a bad deal for Anaheim, with their Anaheim tax deal, which they literally almost pay no taxes for a large portion of the property that they own, like $1 a year. And they ended up banning all the journalists from LA Times to go and review films for them. Now that got redacted later, but they did it.
Yeah.
And so Disney, as we can see, is not above strong arming people to get what they want regardless of the consequences. This gives them more power, and they clearly don't know how to play ball fairly. And I don't like that. The last thing I really dislike is the fact that if Disney does this, they are going to pretty much control the market on streaming.
Yep.
They would control it 100%. That's not a problem again for Disney, but it's a problem for options. Because with Fox and Disney together, keep in mind that Fox right now owns the majority share of Hulu. If this happens, Disney now owns the majority of Hulu. And I think that's a problem because there's too much control for them and they don't know how to play fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I can understand the bad side of it. I'm not that, rose rose-eyed colored. I don't know, I forgot what they said.
Rose-tinted glasses.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But for what properties Disney does own and what they do with their properties, for the most part, they do good. They do good with their properties, with their marketing and their just ideas, I suppose.
Yep, and that was my second point. I didn't finish my Johnny answer.
Sorry.
No, thank you. You said it for me. They will make some of these franchises great again.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
Fantastic
will.
Four.
Yes.
There was a tweet by Chris Evans who says, "So who do I talk to about a Captain Human Torch buddy movie?"
He's playing both roles.
Yeah, he said, "I'm thinking, I forgot what it was, twins with a Parent Trap vibe, or something like that.
That would work. Yeah, but Disney would do a great job with these properties. Aliens, they could make that good. They could. I mean, I don't know if they would want to, but they could.
That's one thing that does worry me is that for the most part, they have dipped out of it every now and then, but they're a very family oriented company. They don't really deal too much with rated R or, more, I guess, mature themes and everything. So, like, with Aliens, not that it was rated R when it came out, but can they still have a mature movie? Can it still be a horror kind of suspense thriller without having a Disney touch?
I would like to take the flip side of that. Will Disney make a non-rated R Aliens film?
Absolutely not.
So if you can't do it, right? You just can't do it. And if Disney says, well, we don't want to go into that much of a violent era, then maybe they just don't make Alien movies.
Which is bad for Aliens and fans of Alien.
Yeah, I agree with you, Garrett. I think they will. So here's the thing with Disney. Right now there's two. Oh God! So there is so much to this Disney Fox deal. We can't talk about it. We only have like another 8 minutes, but there's two lines of entertainment right now in movies and I guess in TV. There is the standard traditional thing that we see with movies going to the box office in theaters, and then there's the television side where things come out on prime time, weekly, or whatever it might be. That's one side. The other side of it is the video on demand side, which is Netflix putting out the entire season immediately. Movies going straight to Netflix, movies going to the theater for 1 month and then going to Netflix, things like that, or Hulu or Amazon, whatever you want to do. Those are the two things. Disney is very much in the trenches to continue the traditional way of going to the box office and later going to DVD, Blu-ray, and then to video on demand. I think that this is them saying we are putting our foot down and we are going to keep the tradition alive because Netflix is against it.
Netflix is against
the box office. They want everything coming directly to Netflix or other video on demand. They don't want to have it go to the theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense from a perspective where why would you watch this thing twice if you only intend to watch it one time, which most people do? We want you to watch it here,
right,
not in the theaters, and at the comfort of your own home. You don't have to pay high dollars to go to a theater.
Yeah. And to wrap that back into Aliens, it's the fact that Disney will not be able to easily keep that entertainment industry method if they don't have a larger audience to pull from. If they only have people that enjoy their family-friendly films, that's going to be a niche that they can only get so much money out of. They have to start opening that up to adult-oriented films. It's the only way they can keep because if they have 40% of the market, they can control a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But if they only have 23 and the other 77%, Netflix is giving us $1 billion, just release it to Netflix, they might do that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that worries me. I hope Disney can make that decision and be more open. I mean, yeah, they would be getting Marvel, all under their wing. What does that mean for Deadpool?
Yeah, those are some great questions. They've gone heavily into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Fox has kind of found their ground, right? With Logan, with Deadpool, the New Mutants film coming out. Do those things go away?
Do they get rebooted again?
Right.
It's not past Disney to acquire something and then just get rid of it.
Yeah, and I don't think, honestly, that's fair now. Had this happened 3 or 4 years ago, before Deadpool, before Logan, before the New Mutants is coming, regardless of what happens in this deal, before those films, which were good and look like they're going to be really good. Okay, yes, tear down everything Fox did. But right now, Fox is in a good spot with these movies, I think.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Again, I just hope that Disney can be open and just not cut the rug.
Yeah. Now we've went into, I think, enough of like the big stuff. Let's nerd out for a second.
Yes.
Bringing the X-Men back into the fold could be sick.
Hey, we can say the word mutants again.
Now, Logan, does Hugh Jackman come back?
Hugh Jackman did say he would come back if Wolverine was in the Avengers.
He did.
I do see Wolverine in the Avengers if this deal does happen.
Oh
By the way,
God.
I don't think we've said the number. I think the number floating around right now is $68 billion.
Yeah. Now 40 billion of that is in stock,
Okay.
not actual liquid capital, but still, that's still money.
It's still, yeah.
It's still money.
Yeah, it's still $40 billion.
Yeah.
I don't think Jackman's going to come back if it's like another trilogy type of thing. I think he's way past his prime. I don't think he'll do another like 3-movie deal.
I don't
even
think
if they merge.
he's not past his prime. He can definitely get ripped for the role. He just doesn't feel comfortable being that big and having to put that much work into his body. That's what he said. He could do it.
He said if he had to eat another egg, yeah. I mean, props, Hugh. You doing it. You made that character Wolverine.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, if he comes, that'd be sick.
They did. So I think Wolverine is essentially cemented. They did really, really good with Logan, and I like Days of Futures Past. I think how they mixed Wolverine in the future, then going back to the past to kind of set that timeline again is great. But I want to see what they're going to do with something like Fantastic Four. I want to see what Disney can do with any other type of any other type of Marvel characters that we don't normally see. Can we get a good Gambit movie, even though it's kind of in production right now? Can we get a good, I don't know, any other type of like Sinister Six or, anything like that?
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, no, I don't know. That's still kind of a weird spot. Spider-Man. Spider-Man's Sony.
Yeah.
It's Sony, not Fox?
Yeah, it's Sony.
Yeah.
So they still would not have Spider-Man.
Yeah, at least not yet.
Yeah, but they're working with Sony, like they're partnering.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's okay.
Completely works, which I imagine they would have done with Fox, but Fox was like, nah.
Yeah. And honestly, it seems like that's a damn good decision from Fox because look at what it's doing now. Because they didn't partner, they're now selling, there's a lot to this deal, and there's some definite reasons that Rupert Murdoch is selling Fox. But either way, by holding out, he has made $60 billion.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, good business there, Rupert.
Yeah.
One thing I just want to say, this will be the true test of the Fantastic Four. Is it Fox dropping the ball, or is Fantastic Four generally just not a successful franchise? I suppose
you can translate into movies.
To movies, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Disney can't do it, I don't know who can.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Stick the books.
Man, this is big. All right, well, that's what we got on the Disney-Fox possible merger, some of the ramifications of it. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think about it? Is it good for the industry? Is it bad? What do you want to see from a Fox-Disney merger? Give us your thoughts. Email us, contact at scspodcast.net. All right, guys, it's time for the last segment, fan favorites. So every week...
I'm sorry?
Ooh, did it.
I can't not do it.
You've only had one good run.
Shut up. Speed run.
There you go.
We take 10 topics that didn't have room for a full segment. We break them down 1 minute at a time, whether we're finished or not. We got to go fast.
Because we got to get it right.
In the speed run. Quentin Tarantino is planning to make a Star Trek movie in partnership with Paramount. Will we see a more gritty and violent space adventure?
If Quentin Tarantino's making it, yeah.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we will. I like that Patrick Stewart says that he would love to play Picard in this movie.
That's cool.
He would.
Yeah, that he says he would only be Picard again if he's in this movie.
That's pretty cool.
So, I mean, yeah. I wonder if this is this Star Trek movie going to be in the same, I guess, timeline or universe, reality, whatever, of the current, Chris Pine movies.
I don't think so. I think it would be its own standalone type of thing.
It would be. Man, that's a lot. I don't know. Like, they're already dark and gritty. And okay, in comparison to what Star Trek used to be, and then what these Chris Pine movies were with Abrams, they're very gritty.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're supposed to be adventurers exploring the cosmos as, like people coming across the ocean from Europe to America.
Yeah.
Like exploring the world, not fighters. And so people are going to start being not okay with that, I think.
I mean, we'll see. It's definitely going to be a different Star Trek experience. Next. DC might be mixing some things up. Sources say John Berg will no longer run DC Films production, and DC will become a production partner with Roy Lee, part of the Lego Movie, and It, during the restructure early next year.
So, this is interesting. They're letting somebody go, and they're changing how they're going to foresee the production of their films.
Yeah, they said that with Justice League's
Low
not so
box office numbers. Yeah.
not hitting where they'd like it to be. They are looking into changing some things.
Wise decision.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
It's happened 5 movies too late.
I 100% agree. If rumors are circulating that Flashpoint will be the resetting, which I think is the perfect way to do this. If you're going to reboot, oh man, Flashpoint is the way to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it will be interesting to see. Ben Affleck again. I believe he's going to do one more movie and then he's out. People are speculating, or John Hamm, or the guy that plays Negan. I forget his name.
As Batman?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yep.
That's a terrible idea.
I don't like that Bruce Wayne already.
Next.
Square Enix is releasing a limited run of physical copies of the upcoming Secret of Mana remake for the PlayStation 4. The game releases next year on February 15th for the PS4, Vita, and Steam. So this game is getting a lot of pushback because of its visual art style. It looks a little bit more, looks too cartoony 3D than people would like to admit. And I pre-ordered it yesterday. It's a GameStop exclusive, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Which is surprising. It's meant to be only a digital release, but they're deciding to release physical copies, so it's more of a collector's item, and I think that's cool.
So the physical is GameStop exclusive.
Yes.
Okay. Because you can't really be an exclusive
If it's
GameStop if I buy it on the Nintendo
right.
eShop.
I should have said physical. GameStop exclusive.
Was Secret of Mana on the Super NES Classic?
Yes.
No, it wasn't? I don't think it was.
I believe
Chrono
it
Trigger
is.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So
it
I
is.
think Secret of Mana is. Okay, I'll play it on there.
And it will have co-op as well for.
That's
systems.
actually pretty cool.
I don't know if it's online versus offline, but it is going to have co-op mechanics.
So it could have couch co-op. Johnny, it's coming back.
Yay!
Next.
Netflix will resume production for House of Cards Season 6 early next year. The final season of the show will not include Kevin Spacey.
You're a big fan of the show, right?
This is a really good show. I mean, it's one of, in my opinion, it's one of their top 5 Netflix original shows.
Really?
For sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
for sure. And it was their first one. Their very first one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. I mean, you have consequences for your actions, man.
Yeah, that goes for everybody. Listener, you have consequences for your action. Think very carefully of your actions.
I don't think we got to worry about them doing a Spacey on anybody.
well, no, I'm not talking about that.
But yeah, it does suck that the show's not going to get the ending that it was supposed to. Honestly, I feel like maybe they should just recast him for this last season. Just put someone in there, let it be known. I mean, everyone's going to understand why.
Well, I mean, you mean recast him to continue? Because if they're saying this is going to be the final season and it's not going to include him,
Yeah, see, but that's the thing. Like, the show revolves; it is about him. So without him, does that mean he dies? How does he fall off the board?
meaning the character.
Yeah, the character.
Are the other supporting character next? Netflix is rebooting Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Netflix has ordered 2 seasons of the show, and it will apparently be a dark coming-of-age story for the reboot.
I like this a lot. This is kind of reminiscent of her comic book roots, where it's a very dark film. It's not that whatever channel that was, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like comedy.
Was it on like Fox or something?
It wasn't on Fox.
Originally?
Fox.
It was like 5, I think, or 7.
Yeah, I probably see it on like because
Network
it wasn't
TV.
always WB. Sometimes it was KTLA.
Yeah,
sometimes
I'm pretty
whatever.
sure it was like an ABC thing. But I think this is cool. Netflix, you're greenlit. What's your show called? Like they just let any show 2 seasons already?
I kind of feel like that's Netflix is like Flash and Justice League, where Bruce Wayne comes up to him like, "I'm building a team. I'm in. I'm making a show. It's greenlit.
Get on the production studio already. Get on the floor.
Here's some money."
They need shows, man.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have a good CG cat, whatever the cat's name was.
Please don't
Salem.
make the cat CG.
I like Salem, so I don't know how they're gonna do it. A puppet, like a kind of puppeteer animatronic Salem would be the way to go. I'd be okay with the CG one though.
Yep.
Next.
The Disney animated short nobody saw coming, Olaf's Frozen Adventure, will be no longer played before Coco in theaters. Disney also said that this was meant to be a limited time screening of the Frozen short.
You're lying.
I also feel that they are lying. Because if this was a limited time, what do you have to replace it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So funny story. A lot of people, when they saw this, when they saw the short, they were saying, this probably would have been better as like a limited special, like a TV special or something like that. It's going to be a TV special.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, first of all, it was too long. Like, a lot of people are saying their kids were like crying in the theater because they thought they were in the wrong movie.
I don't know. I'm not disagreeing that kids were probably crying thinking they're in the wrong movie. I don't have a problem with its length. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Olaf. I watched the whole thing. I was happy with it.
I think it'd have been okay if they would have had theaters cut the trailers. But for it to be 39 minutes from you sitting down to the beginning of the trailers to watching your film, that's a long time to sit there with children.
Yeah, that's fair, and try to keep them still.
And then another hour and a half, hour 45 movie.
So I was going to go to the bathroom because I went to go see Coco. Next! That's the story.
Capcom announces Mega Man 11 during their live stream earlier this week. They also announced Mega Man Legacy Collections 1 and 2 are coming to the Nintendo Switch, and also will release a new Mega Man X collection to all platforms sometime next year.
So Mega Man's not dead, Joshua.
No, Mega Man's not dead. I think this surprised everybody because this, in the next week, I think will be the 30th anniversary of Mega Man. I actually like how the game looks. It's not retro. It doesn't look like 8-bit like 9 and 10, but it looks in between that and Mighty Number 9. It has a very unique semi-cell shaded art style.
I don't think you should say the name of that game in the same sentence.
Well, you have to.
That'll drive some people away.
Yeah, that's fine. But no, keep listening. I think it's gonna continue to go back to its roots, but I think it'll be closer to what Mega Man 8 was, but in a good way.
Yeah, I think this is cool.
I'm more interested in the Mega Man X collection.
It's gonna include 7 and 8, which, aren't the greatest games, but it's nice that they're adding that into the whole collection.
Yeah,
you get that.
From what I'm hearing, kind of two different stories. I don't know which one. I'm hearing it's going to be a whole collection, 1 through 8, or they're going to be released throughout the year.
That's dumb.
I agree with that.
You gotta put it all on the same one. They've had an X collection before.
Yes, they have. But I don't know what's going to happen. I'm hoping it's a whole collection. That's what I'm interested in. Next, Mega Man Next. Techland announces a Battle Royale-inspired expansion for Dying Light in 2018. This will have PvP and PvE experiences within Dying Light's unique gameplay experience.
You wrote experience twice in 5 words. Just want to point that out.
Sorry, I read experience twice in 5 words.
No, not you.
No, I know. He said it, but I read it.
Yeah, you did. There's a lot of these Battle Royale things coming out. Slow down on this.
Yeah, everyone's picking up on that PUBG.
Yeah.
They're trying to cash in while they can. Although this would be, as put, a unique experience. Dying Light being very kind of parkour heavy, running and trying to catch people and, beat them down, kill them, whatever you're trying to do, with the aspect of the verticality of climbing up buildings, jumping off of them. I think that's really cool.
I like that they're still doing DLC content. So one of the modes, real quick, I forget the name of it. Essentially, you're in a copter, you drop down into the zombie-infested world. You're supposed to kill zombies, take their blood, and then use that blood to try to use it as like a type of payment to get on a copter, like get some reward and escape. So essentially, you're fighting and competing against other people to kill zombies to try to harvest their blood.
Next.
Capcom announces the return of the good old Dante. Devil May Cry HD Collection is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on March 13th of next year. This includes Devil May Cry 1, Devil May Cry 2, and the Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, all running at a sweet 60 frames per second for $30.
Awesome. Like I said, if they keep, I said this on like Facebook, our Facebook page, if they keep releasing it, I'll keep buying it.
I mean, yeah, you know how I feel about remakes. I'm sorry, not remakes, collections.
We should really have a topic on this eventually.
I think we have before.
I don't think we have.
We kind of touched up on it. $30 is a good price point if you've never played Devil May Cry. And if the game really runs at 60 FPS, I think that's good for people that are playing games today.
$10 a game.
Because it was really slow on PS2.
Yeah, I don't like collections coming back over and over, remaking the same game and charging me, but they haven't done it very often for Devil May Cry, if at all, from what if I remember.
They've done it once.
And Devil May Cry is a really good, fun series, so if you do it once, cool, but don't make another one next year.
For the same game, yeah.
Or don't make this and then add the Devil May Cry remake that they did a couple years back.
Yeah.
And then put 4 games.
Next.
Ubisoft announces not 1, not 2, but 3 game delays Far Cry 5 is pushed back 1 month. The Crew is pushed back until a possible 6 to 12 month period, and an unannounced title has already been projected to be pushed back a full year. Boom.
Okay, well, that sucks for Far Cry 5, although 1 month isn't too terrible. I mean, I'm looking forward to Far Cry 5. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I gotta wait a little longer. The Crew 2, my opinion, I don't care.
It's a shame that game's getting pushed back. There's a lot of hype around that game. It's pretty cool what they're trying to do in that game, but
I can just see that board moving. All right, Jim, how are things going with Far Cry? All right, so we need like another month. We're on schedule. Damn it. All right, Frank, how you guys doing with the Crew? We need like 6 months. Dang
the
it.
hell you been doing, Frank?
Charles, how's that unannounced project?
Yeah, we don't even talk about it.
We need like 2 years. Just upends the table.
I didn't know you guys wanted to put it on a scale. Like, it's supposed to come out next year? Question mark. Why would you even announce that?
Yeah, I don't.
It's
Yeah,
not announced.
We say that on other games, but why would you announce a game you haven't announced yet? Hey, we're working on something, and it's going to take longer.
It's getting pushed back.
Like, so what?
it's like
Yeah.
telling on yourself for a crime that no one knew you did.
Yeah, that's... What? Next? End.
All right, well, that's our speed run, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the topics. Give us some quick tips and themes for next week's speed run. Freaking Ubisoft, man.
That's pretty funny.
All right, it's time for Name the Game. 3 games, 2 competing hosts, and clues that lead to the correct answer. Use your wits, match the clues, and name the game. So it's Joshua.
Yep.
Joshua, it is your turn.
Who won last week?
Garrett won.
By how much?
A sweep, sir.
Damn you.
Sorry.
Damn you.
Don't jinx yourself.
All right,
next
so
time.
I'm gonna give you 3 games that we've already discussed in the past.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm just
Super Mario 64. Battletoads.
no, not for a third time, back to back. Okay, y'all know how it works. Y'all ready?
Y'all ready for this?
I dang it!
Dun, dun, dun,
All
dun,
right,
dun, dun,
yes,
dun.
I'm ready.
All right, good luck. All right, first game. One of the best collections of all time.
Super Mario All-Stars.
Super Mario All-Stars.
Wow,
Yeah.
very nice.
Lucky guess on the first try. It could have been a many things, but you got it.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, one for Johnny. Sounds like last week, doesn't it? All right. Second game. A classic arcade game also released on consoles.
Missile Command?
No.
The Simpsons game.
No. You already did that one.
Dang it.
A fun and frantic game for up to 4 players.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Nope.
X-Men, the arcade game.
No, and you already did that one.
Dang it.
All right. There is no unsportsmanlike conduct in this
Blitz, NFL Blitz.
NFL Blitz.
Why would I get that?
It's a pretty good game. It's not even a sports game.
I know there was sports arcade games.
You've heard of NBA Jam, have you? Have you not?
On the Sega? Was that also on the...
It was an arcade game, yeah.
Yeah, I would... Anyway.
Okay. That's another point for Johnny.
Thank you. I win. But let's go. Let's go.
Johnny has never gotten a 3-peat on this one, or a skunk, I should say.
I have not.
So, third game. A fresh new story on a long existing franchise.
Final Fantasy.
No.
Halo 5?
No. New game physics allowed environmental damage to not reset, which was new at the
Crackdown.
time. No.
I was going to say that too. I don't know. Pass.
Amidst all the war and chaos, you were raised without knowledge of the Emperor.
Star Wars
Star Wars.
Battlefront?
No.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2.
No.
Dang it.
You are probably the strongest of them all.
Pass.
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
No. You're probably the strongest because even you took down a Star Destroyer.
Star
Wars Force Unleashed 2.
I said the first one.
The correct answer would have been Star Wars Force Unleashed. So
Dang it.
Garrett got that one.
Dang
Johnny
it.
beat you to the punch on the name, but he said number 2, and that was incorrect.
Dang it.
I don't know why
Garrett.
you went that far.
Garrett, you got a point.
I didn't get
Just
skunked.
barely. Just barely.
No
you just,
skunks
you just had to not say the number. You would have been fine.
I got the dub. I'm okay.
So it's 2-1, but Johnny is the winner on here.
Man, that was brutal.
Yeah. You gave no hints that it was Star Wars. Even
That-
though we
that
were
was-
around Star Wars all over the place.
That was the whole point.
Yep.
That was the whole point.
All right, so I walk away with that one. The Force is strong with me.
Blitz one was garbage.
It was either going to be NFL Blitz.
I got something.
It was going to be Blitz or
I got
NBA
something.
Jam.
I didn't do nothing wrong.
I got something. You know how you guys take 5 minutes to guess one of my games? Yeah, we extended that.
Wow.
You mean like every time?
Oh man,
We're gonna have to go through.
It's a 30-minute segment next week.
We're gonna have to go through Punk's catalog of retro games.
That's
NES
our
Punk.
that's our name of the game. Hopefully you guys did better. That salt is literally coming through people's ears right now, just coming out of the headphones from Garrett. All right, guys, it's time for the listener question. The listener mail. Listen to your mail. We read your mail. You listen. That's how it goes. So both of these people. All right, I've talked about this in the past. Please put your name at the end of an email. I don't want to read like your email on the air. Just be, and
not give you credit.
Yeah, there's obvious reasons why I can't read your email. So.
You're talking about something else. Oh.
I'm talking about people who are emailing us and not putting names. So.
I mean, we can read the email. It's just you get no credit.
So
put Destroyer 42.
We're gonna just say essentially that this one is Bine. That's as close as I'm gonna get to your actual like name in your email because yeah. So Bine is the first one.
Bine?
Bine.
Oh. Got it. Email number 1 is from Bine. Bine writes, if Disney gets a hold of Fox's TV and movie studios, maybe, just maybe, we can have a Hugh Jackman Wolverine in the MCU. Man, that would be sick. Curious to know if you think Jackman would come back and what would be the first thing Disney does with the properties they get from Fox. Well, we answered this question earlier this episode.
The first part of it, anyway.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman probably will come back for a couple of films, maybe 1 or 2. He won't do an extended 10-year thing like he did with X-Men. That won't happen. The first thing I want them to do, honestly, is make a Fantastic Four film. Bring them into the MCU. They are Marvel's first family.
Me, I'm not too different, but I want an X-Men movie, but I want like X-Men from the 90s cartoon team. I want a good Rogue. I want a good Gambit.
This one's for you, Morph.
Throw Morph in there too.
Right?
I mean, he'll die in the first 5 minutes, but that's what he does.
Was Morph in one of the previous films?
I think they have shown him before, briefly. They've had a lot of characters pop up briefly.
I feel like Morph was in there somewhere. I don't want them to touch a Marvel movie first. What are some older like Fox franchises besides Aliens? I want them to work on something else and not because we already have enough Marvel movies in the lineup as it is.
Do they own Terminator at this point?
That's what I'm thinking. Is Terminator Universal?
I think it is Universal.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'm almost 100%.
Yeah, that's why I take Universal Studios.
Yep.
Yeah, so I want them to take something else that hasn't been done in some time. Like, for example, Terminator. Just it hasn't been a Terminator in years. The last one was. I didn't see the last one.
They don't own that. Though.
I mean, there was a Terminator like maybe 2 years ago.
Regenesis,
Yeah.
the stupidest title you could think of.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was good, but there was one, and they are making another one.
Does Fox own Predator?
I don't know. Also, keep in mind that Universal.
Yes, I think so because Alien versus Predator.
Maybe, but just keep in mind that it being at Universal doesn't mean Studios doesn't mean that they own it. Simpsons is there.
Yeah,
and they don't own it. Fox owns it.
Yeah. So I want them to take an older franchise that hasn't been done in maybe 10 plus years and bring something like that back.
Yep.
Titanic 2.
Yep.
Oh man.
All right. So Bine, thank you for that.
Another iceberg.
The other one, again, please put your name, but this one's from Gross Hands. As much as I'm going to say as his email.
All right.
That's Gross Hands.
Okay.
You want me to read it?
Thanks, Gross
Rather
Hands.
long.
I can read it.
Cool.
My screen. I have to readjust my screen. All right, so we'll just say GH says, I know that microtransactions are a part of gaming culture now, but what do you think about the price of games? As other items have continued to grow up, games have stayed the same price over the last 15 years. Garrett and Joshua, you both are cool with microtransactions to some extent or another, and Johnny, you have always seemed to be against it. How would your views and expectations change if standard edition games became $75 or $80? Keep in mind, this is exactly how much games are in the UK and other parts of Europe. The Xbox One and PS4 had a price drop, and games over there went up in price.
Well, the Xbox One and PS4 came out, and games went up, is what he means.
Oh,
like the price of games went up in Europe.
Oh, drop meaning came out. Okay, gotcha.
But they stayed the same here. We didn't have a price increase on our games, and they did, like $10 or $15.
Because it's a new console, new generation type of thing.
Right.
Okay. I love how when listeners email us and they kind of say, hey, this is what you said, and they bring up stuff that we personally talked about in our opinions. So I really enjoy that because it brings the bouncer back with us.
And you are correct, at least with me.
I'll go first. If the games happen to go up in price, I expect the value to go up. Meaning if I'm not going to buy an $80 Call of Duty game if the game is only going to last 6 hours for a campaign and I'm going to get the same multiplayer as I did last year. For me, that's not a good value to mark up the game but get the same quality or quantity as the previous iteration.
I'm kind of in a different area. 75 and 80 I do not think is worth a video game. With like, I guess all DLC coming in or whatever, only because it's not always guaranteed that I want the DLC. I prefer the season pass to be a separate thing so I can purchase it if I want to continue my experience. But in a world where the games come out $75, $80 and I don't have a choice, I do see me purchasing less games.
Okay, I have a quick question for you. So when Batman Arkham Knight came out, they gave us the price of the DLC, but they did not give us the content for like 6 months. Like here's $40 worth of DLC you're going to get in a year, but we're not going to tell you what it is. So would you invest into a game, I mean, if you had to, that had DLC coming in a year or two, but don't know what it is?
Well, the slight difference there is that because Arkham Knight was the fourth entrant into that series.
Don't mention that other one.
Origins was not bad.
It was the worst one.
That doesn't make it bad. We've had this discussion before. But I know what I'm getting with a Batman Arkham game. So the fourth installment, it's going to have DLC. I'm for it because the previous 3 games I was happy with.
Okay.
If it's a new IP, I know nothing about it. I do not feel comfortable, you giving me a $40 season pass up front and saying, well, there will be DLC, but I don't know what it can consist of. What is that? Is that weapon skins? Is that, just a color change with my character? I don't know.
Okay. So you're saying you would buy less games if they were $75 or $80.
Yes.
Now, would you care would you care differently, good or for better or worse, about DLC? Would you be okay with the way that the DLC market is if the game price went up? Or would you expect for them to give you more and stop microtransactioning you?
Okay. Well, I would expect it to be the same. I don't expect more or less in this alternate timeline.
I think it's going to happen.
Games. But would I like more? Yes.
Okay.
Obviously.
You can say that now. If the game were $10, you'd want more game. But right now, you are perfectly fine with microtransactions to a pretty large extent, based on the $60 price.
Yeah, because it's completely optional.
But if the game's $80, would you still be okay with those same microtransactions in the way that you're okay with them now?
No, because it's not optional. I have to purchase this $80 game, and there's still microtransactions.
Okay, so if the price went up, then you're like, okay, just give me the content as freebies.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Games are, to answer your question, gross hands. Freaking email, man. This is inevitable. Games are going to go up. It's just the way it's going to go, just because inflation happens. And we're very lucky in the US that we didn't have a price increase when the Xbox One and PS4 dropped, because almost every other country did.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. So, and I still would feel the same way about microtransactions as I do now. It wouldn't change.
Because in the past you have mentioned that you would rather buy like $100 game if it came with all the DLC.
Yeah.
Or along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just forgot my second point. But you have mentioned that in the past.
Mm-hmm. I have.
Yeah, because if you're going to spend that money on DLC anyway, knowing about it up front, say, hey, this game's $100, but you're going to get these DLC packs over the course of the next year. But we're not going to split it up. Everyone's going to have to pay the same amount.
That's what I was going to bring up. So because John, you seem, I guess, not fine with it, but you seem tolerant of the games going up in price, which is, you've mentioned in the past that you believe that buying a game digitally should be cheaper because the production is less.
Yeah, I do think that, and that won't ever happen, sadly.
Yeah, but we're going in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
and you still kind of seem okay with it.
I mean,
is that just because like an acceptance kind of thing? Like it's going to happen, might as well get used to it?
I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess it's more like priority of what I want first. Do I think it's a problem that digital games and content cost the same as a physical? No, that's not cool. I don't like it. But would I rather it stay that way and then remove microtransactions and leave the price the same? Yes. I would rather them remove microtransactions and DLC of that regard and give it to me in one game, and the price stays the same on both sides, rather than see the change in price and still have microtransactions.
Okay.
So that's how I feel.
I have a quick question for you, gentlemen. So very similar to how people have gone to extreme lengths to, backlash on EA and microtransactions on Battlefront, and we've seen a lot of people give backlash on, whether it be movie trailers like Infinity. What was the Call of Duty game that was in space?
Infinity War.
It was Infinity War.
Wait, Infinite Warfare.
There we go.
So like people got a lot of backlash when that trailer dropped, and then people forgot about it. So if say the Xbox One X, all these say new games going forward, they're $80. Do you think consumers and people would complain so much that they will retract and say, you know what? We're going to go back to a $60 price point. Or
no way.
You have to deal with it, or you just don't buy it, and then they just kind of bite the bullet if no one buys their product?
Honestly, it'll be a jerk move, but if companies stand their ground and say we're not going back, people will purchase it at the higher price.
Well, they're going to have to if they want it at that point.
Yeah, they won't back down. Once it'll be across the industry. Once it happens, and there's no going back. There's no going back at all.
Because it just takes that first person to kind of set the tone, and then everyone else just kind of follows suit. If
that happened, yeah, but it would be industry-wide. Sony would make the point to say, hey, we're moving forward with $80 for you to put your game out and publish it on a Sony system, and Microsoft would do the same.
On the reverse side, it takes a lot of, I don't want to say guts, but it takes a lot of brass, I don't know, to be that first company to up your price. Because if, say, Sony ups their games to $80, Microsoft hasn't quite done it yet, people are going to go buy the Microsoft version. They're going to go buy the Xbox version for the cheaper price.
Yeah.
So it will have to be at the same time.
Maybe.
The way I see it, like if Sony and Microsoft say $80 and Nintendo continues like, no, our games are going to stay at $60, does that mean people just buy Nintendo consoles and stay away from the high price?
I think so. I think the majority, you'll see a dip in Sony Microsoft sales, and you'll see a rise in Nintendo.
But then you have the Nintendo console that doesn't have all the IPs. So like, well, damn, I have to buy God of War 5 at $80 because I want to play God of War.
That's exactly what happened.
Well, I mean, that goes with every generation, you know. If you want to play the exclusive, you got to get the system.
Yeah, that's why it wouldn't matter if Nintendo stayed at 60 and the others went to 80, because you'd still want to play your first party games. Yeah. So good emails, guys. Thank you. All right. So last week's listener question was if you could pick one character, I believe it was, for your little sibling, your brother, your sister to be. That's your sibling. Who would it be?
That's a good one. And they have to be little, right? Like, well, not
they're your younger, they're your younger sibling.
Okay. Because I think I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong being my little bro.
So Donkey Kong.
I would choose Donkey Kong, only because sure I'm the older brother, but having a big hairy gorilla as like, you know, just having a sibling and having someone to look out for you and having someone to look out for. As no one's gonna mess with DK.
Yeah, but
and the man could pick up chicks. Well, his grandfather can.
You aren't thinking this through. You don't want your brother, your little brother, being an uber powerful beast.
I mean, when you learn to constrain, you know. But before then, he'll be like Bam Bam.
Give me the controller. It's my turn. No.
Wait, your turn.
Give me
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a bad news bear situation for you. All right. So I have a little sister. If I could just have,
Hi, Bray.
Hi, Bray. She's not listening. If I could have my little sister be any little character, anything like that, I'd have her be a gremlin.
Oh, wow.
Oof. Is it the dolled up one with like the makeup and the
eyeshadow?
Mean. Well, you just chose a gremlin.
But like before he's a gremlin, like when they're little
like
Furbies.
Gizmo.
Yeah, and then
they still called gremlins?
Hold on, I never thought about this. Does Gizmo turn into a gremlin?
I don't believe so. I think that's the whole point.
Like, but the other ones turn into gremlins
because they get wet after midnight.
No, you feed them after midnight, and they die from getting wet.
There you go. Yeah, it's been a long time.
But if you feed Gizmo after midnight, does he become a gremlin?
Absolutely. It's not like he has some built-in immunity. It's just that they were responsible with Gizmo and did not feed the thing after midnight.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, Gremlins that's what 3. He would turn into.
Yeah.
Gremlins 3.
He becomes a gremlin?
I don't know. There is no Gremlins. Gremlins 3.
I'm pretty sure there is a Gremlins 3.
I think there is. I think there's several.
Oh, then never mind.
Yeah. But yeah, because she's nice and then everything. She's cool. But if you get her mad, man, So now I'm just making it so that the inside reflects the outside when she's mad and angry. That's all. And don't feed her after midnight.
Don't feed Bray after midnight.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my choice.
Well, I have 3 siblings, so I feel like when we were growing up, we're all probably like Koopa kids. We're all just weird and obnoxious. But I think I would have my sibling. We'd be a power trio. So we would be like Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and someone gets and Amy. And Amy Rose. I would be Tails.
Who's the sad person who has to be Amy?
Amy's not.
Okay. Oh, stop it, Garrett. You never want to play as Amy when you play a Sonic game.
No.
Okay.
Amy's not as bad as Big.
Oh, I can't stand Big.
Cause we're super duper happy.
I hate you, Big. I hate you so much.
Yeah, we'd be a Sonic force.
They'd be like Sonic Heroes.
Oh yeah, we can be Sonic Heroes. You can be what's the crocodile's name?
Right? What is it? Isn't it like Beat? No. I forget, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you'd be the Gator, Garrett.
Oh, he's got too much bling.
All right. Well, that is our response to the listener question. Next week's listener question.
All right. I think I got one. Next week's listener question. What is an action or like a phrase from a video game that you have used in real life?
Like I use on a regular basis or like...
I mean, regular basis. Maybe something that comes to mind whenever you do an action. It kind of reminds you of like a character or a video game phrase. What's something, a phrase or, an action that happens in video games that you apply yourself in real life?
I got an app for that.
All right, so as do I.
All right, cool. That is...
There probably literally is an app for that.
There probably is actually an app for that. All right, that's our listener question for next week. Email us, contact@scspodcast.net. Let us know what you would choose for this week's listener question. All right, it's time for the end game boss fight. So every week we give each other bosses to figure out, or puzzles to figure out how to defeat. And we talk about those on the next week's episode. And we also go over last week's end game boss fight and what we did to beat the situation. We'll go into a little bit of our week and what we did that was fun or memorable. What was my...
So you...
Let me do it.
All right.
Dang,
do it. Bad.
You
tell the story.
I'm telling the story. You, sir, are in a battle. Justice League versus... I'm sorry, not Justice League. Why'd you put Justice League, Johnny? Garrett. It's DC versus Marvel. And you have to pick a side. And you found out by your decision it was a battle to the death. So what side did you join? And who survives?
Well, I mean, I obviously choose the Marvel side. They have much more powerful cosmic entities than DC. The Phoenix Force, Sentry,
who?
Yeah, I know that you wouldn't know this.
Sentinels don't kill.
No, not the Sentinels. The Sentry. The Sentry, he is extremely powerful. The Phoenix Force pretty much made the universe. Like, just those two alone would pretty much wipe the floor with anybody on the DC side. I mean, I know Superman is powerful and all. I know there's Darkseid and stuff, but like, the Marvel universe has some powerful people, man.
Is Watchmen part of DC?
I would not consider them
are
part
they
of
their own? They're their own thing, but kind of like in partner.
Yeah,
with
okay. I wouldn't count them if I'm saying DC.
I'd say Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, he would be up there, but he's not at this point in continuity yet. So
fair enough.
Marvel would win. Just the Phoenix would be enough.
So
honestly,
that's your ace in the hole. Phoenix would destroy Superman and all the lanterns.
Well, I mean, the lanterns would at least they would go toe to toe with the Nova Corps, which is essentially the Guardians of Marvel, kind of like they've got the Green Lanterns. That'd be cool to watch. So yeah, Marvel all the way.
All right.
I know you don't like the answer, Garrett.
But... No. I mean, I figured that would be your answer. I'm not mad, Johnny. Just disappointed.
It's not my
fault. You didn't pick DC, or you think DC would win?
That he didn't pick DC.
Okay.
But I mean, I can't argue against Phoenix Force.
Yeah.
You can't be mad knowing he wasn't going to choose DC.
All right. So I had a fairly standard week, just playing some Magic. I didn't get a chance to go to PSX. We'll talk about that more in a few minutes, I'm sure. So yeah, very standard week for me. My wife actually did a lot of watching. I watched her play a lot of Mario, so she's enjoying that quite a bit.
Good.
And that was my week. Very unmemorable week for me this week.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had my Pikachu hat.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
he's not wearing it.
So
He's not wearing it.
You have a live Pikachu that's on your head that he's living, powers and all, but he's a hat that's on your head. He saps your life force or someone, but if you take him off, he dies.
Well, for a long period of time.
Yeah, for a while, enough for his life.
Yeah,
force
like
to drain out.
a day or so.
Okay, plenty of time. So I have my P-Cappy. P-Cappy.
Pika.
I've noticed something throughout my weeks. I've noticed this thing following me. I mean, I was locked in a room with it. You know, we were playing musical chairs. It followed me over to my job over at Walmart on Black Friday. I've noticed there's this zombie just following me around. So I grabbed this zombie and I put my Pikachu hat on him. He doesn't die because he's a zombie, but he's got to have some type of life force because he's living. So I have Pikachu's fine.
Wow.
And then I just break off the bottom jaw. I'm a shonen. And I got my Pikachu buddy and a jawless zombie.
I like how you've made continuity for your boss fights.
It's continuity.
It's Rick and Morty. so is this the same zombie that you were in the boss fight with?
Yeah, this is the same zombie I was in that room with.
So you're still a zombie.
I'm a zombie. Oh yeah, I did. No, we retconned that part. Flashpoint.
All right, well done.
Barry came back and saved me.
How? He
came back and saved me. Don't think about it.
He phased the bomb off of your butt.
All right, my turn. How did my week go? All right.
Continuity.
Last week I explained to you guys that I beat Stick of Truth. Started playing Fractured Butthole. I beat Fractured Butthole.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty good. The ending gets a little kind of but the game overall is a lot of fun. Speaking of this, Stick of Truth real quick, I made the mistake my first playthrough back on the 360. We were trying to collect all the Chim Pokemon and I missed one. Of course, that one Chim Pokemon is in an area in the game that you cannot access again. It's one of those, like, you better get it this time. So my second playthrough of Stick of Truth, I go, okay, remember that Chim Pokemon. I'm not going to forget that Chim Pokemon. Beat the game. I'm missing one Chim Pokemon.
Oh.
It's in another place that I got previously the first time, but I missed them this time in a spot I can't get to again.
That sucks.
So
I
I am done trying to get that achievement.
Yeah.
But that I believe Overwatch is having their winter event coming up this Tuesday. They're changing it a bit. Last year there was kind of like a May snowball fight where everyone plays May and you throw snowballs and it's kind of one hit kill thing and just, survive. This year they're going to have that, but they're adding something else, which is really cool. May's Yeti Hunt or something like that, where there's, I believe, 4 players that play May and one player plays Winston in his Yeti skin. Winston has to go around collecting, I guess, like sustenance or something. And when he gets enough, he kind of like goes into a primal rage where he can't be stopped. All the Mays are hunting the Winston. The Winston's trying to collect things, get more powerful. And then when he gets more powerful, and at that point, the Mays can't fight him. And so it's kind of like an evolve, kind of game style. So I'm really looking forward to trying that and
That's cool.
Checking out some of the winter skins, seeing what they got. I checked out a couple movies yesterday. I watched Boss Baby. Not bad.
Yeah,
Not
right?
bad. I thought it was going to be a total trash show, and I wanted to watch it just to watch the garbage burn, but it was pretty enjoyable.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah, it had some funny parts. I'm like, that made me laugh. That writer that made that joke, you got me. So that was pretty enjoyable. There was another quick movie I watched. I cannot remember what it was called. El Camino something. Some liquor store gets held up on accident kind of thing. It's a comedy. And so like the cops, Kurtwood Smith's in it. It was pretty funny. Real quick, like hour and a half movie. And to top things off, I saw Coco.
Nice.
Coco, really good. People should go watch Coco, even if the Frozen short's there. Stick around, watch Coco, and possibly bring tissues.
Yeah, that's good.
That was my week.
Would you put it in the vein of top 2 or 3 Pixar movies?
I would definitely throw it in top 3. I don't know where it falls in the top 3. I don't know if it's 1, 2, or 3.
What's the other one? Obviously, Toy
We'll
Story.
we'll do this later. We could do a whole episode on this.
Yeah. Sorry, my week's going on for a bit. But to wrap things up, that was me.
Nice.
Some cool games and some cool movies.
All right.
Also, I pre-ordered Okami, coming out on Tuesday, $20.
Good job.
Hey everybody, I'm Joshua. I have to fight the hard polygons in Smash Melee. Cruel polygons. So essentially, those wired frames and those polygons, they're a bunch of lines stitched together, right?
It's like a blocky kind of, I think, Porygon.
Yeah. So I try to fight them, and they just take so much damage, and I can't do anything. So I essentially just I pick a different character. I evolve into Yoshi, and I just eat them up and put them in eggs and drop them off the edge. They might still come back, but I just rinse and repeat. Yum. All
right.
Cool. Oh, you evolved.
Yum.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I do.
I didn't know Joshua's were Pokemon.
I eat them and I poop them out. Well, Yoshi's not a Pokemon, but
no, but the evolved.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Now I'm Joshua again.
You de-evolved.
So my week was pretty good. I went to Melissa hosted and Nintendo hosted a food drive event, Garrett, at their house. So I went with Tiffany. We got some canned food and some rice and some non-perishables and donated it and kind of hung out with a bunch of people there. So that was cool. Fun. Excuse me. Put a decent amount of time into Xenoblade 2. It's a fun game. It's good. I like it so far. The voice acting is kind of It's very similar to the first game. They have it's weird because it has a pretty decent storyline so far. I'm enjoying it. And they throw like cartoon and anime tropes where you have characters that are over exaggerative, and like there's this one character we run into stalking you, right? He's got this, it's like what's his name? It's like a typical like male anime character that jumps in. You've never seen him before. He's got too much like pride and too much swag, and I've got the best move in the game, like type of thing.
Tuxedo Mask?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Sure. So he thinks that, he's going to take you on, you're going to fight him, and you fight him, and he's like, all right, here's my super powerful finishing move. He has this big old sword. He does this jump like lightning strike. He hits the ground, and the ground breaks, and lo and behold, it breaks the area that he's on because he's closer to the edge, and then he falls. It's one of those things where it's just like, I see what you guys did there. You're trying to pull a funny. And there's a lot of those type of moments, and it's good. It's 25 hours in. I'm about now.
Have you met the character that everyone's clamoring about on the animes stuff?
I don't know because I haven't seen any of anything. But
wait, so 25 hours in, you haven't seen nothing of anything?
Well, I don't know who this character they're clamoring about is.
I don't know. I think she's like half bunny, and like she's got real big plot.
Then no. But the main character that the story revolves around, she is clearly objectified of having like the biggest boobs like ever. I'm not a fan of that.
Okay, we're not talking about the same person then.
No, so I'm not a fan of that because they're out there and it doesn't match the body type, and even in certain cutscenes they're just out there. You're like that just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it doesn't seem like that kind of game.
Yeah, we got to get moving here. We're way over.
So PSX, I haven't gone yet. We're recording this Sunday. I'm going today. Capcom Cup is today for Street Fighter, and the Battle for the Stones tournament for Marvel vs. Capcom is today. So I'm going to get hopefully 2 to 4 hours of showtime for PSX and then go to the events. I didn't watch the keynote for PSX, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I did a recap. I skipped through it. It was garbage. So they essentially took a lot of developers for a lot of games. They put them on a couch, pretty much like a late night show type, and they just talked. An hour and a half, almost an hour and 40 minutes. Probably they showed maybe 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay throughout that whole sequence. Everything else was just talking to developers.
Yep.
It was pretty, but the only thing they showed off more gameplay from Detroit. What's the game that you're interested in? The kid with the imaginary the world where he's got the paintbrush.
I can't remember at this moment, but yes, they showed
that was the biggest thing they showed off for like 15 minutes of gameplay. They're bringing back Medieval.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're doing an HD remaster for that game. That's pretty much it. And they showed off Dreams, which is pretty cool.
It was a really bad keynote. It was pointless. It was something that you would see from like a YouTuber just chatting about games.
That's
it sucks if you went there expecting game trailers because you really got none.
You did.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Cool. Johnny, boss fight.
Don't close your eyes.
No, I had it.
Sure you did.
I did. No, I did. I thought about it in here. Where'd it go? There you go. You are fighting the Ginyu Force,
Okay.
which includes King Cold. Or, all right, is that his name? King Cold. Frieza's dead.
Okay,
Cooler?
that's fair.
Wait, no, that's the brother.
Yeah, Frieza's dead. Yeah, so you're fighting the Ginyu Force.
All right, I got it. I can take care of this.
You had trivia, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna fight the Ginyu Force." Trying to put that on us. I'm gonna put that back on you.
Wow, this guy. I'm always fighting these overpowered monsters. All right, Garrett, you have to fight. Get to fight Super Mario wearing Cappy.
Wait, is Mario wearing Cappy or am I wearing Cappy?
No, you're wearing Cappy.
Oh, okay.
You have to fight Mario while you're wearing Cappy. So he has his stable of powers and abilities, and you have Cappy. That's all you got.
All right. That sounds.
That sounds too easy, actually.
Man, like I got this.
We'll see.
I got this.
All right.
Joshua, what to give you?
Some more nonsense.
I mean, I don't think I give nonsense.
Well, it's nonsense for me. Polygons and stuff. I didn't pass geometry.
All right.
I did.
All right. So just for this week, I'm going to borrow another page from Smash Brothers. You are in the home run contest, but you got to get that sandbag past 200 feet with a feather.
Ooh.
A feather, like a Mario feather.
No, a feather,
Nah.
man.
Not like a Mario feather.
Okay.
No.
All right. Good luck, man. All right, guys. Well, that is our show this week. We apologize. Ran a lot long, honestly. We'll cut that down as much as possible. All the little fluffy stuff. But yeah, appreciate you guys listening. We always love the support, guys. We're hitting crazy big numbers these last couple of weeks, so that's been really cool. So you guys are definitely helping us out by chatting with people about us, and continue to do that. Again, you can always every week I'll say it. You can always help out the show. Give us a review on iTunes or wherever you might be listening. If you are able to do that, we'd really appreciate that. It helps people find us through the Apple Podcast app. There we go. So do that, or wherever you listen. Let friends and family know. That's the biggest way that we grow, or anything grows. Talk to people who you feel would enjoy it. And lastly, if you have some time or you have a couple bucks and you want to support the show monetarily, you can do that by going to patreon.com/Super Co-op Squad. If you do that, guys, give us a buck or two. That helps us pay for the hosting of our content, help us pay for equipment, and do more with the show. But either way, guys, first of all, second of all, third of all, just in every way, thank you for just listening and enjoying our show, because we have a good time, and we hope that you do as well. Other than that, you can chat with us, contact at scspodcast.net that's by email. You can also chat with us as a group on Twitter at Super Co-op Squad, so follow us there, and you can talk with us and follow us individually as well. You can find me at JohnnyMac24.
You can find me at GJL3275.
And you can find me Joshua_4_life.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy your week, and we'll see you next week. As always, I'm Johnny Mac.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Joshua.
Bye.